Tommy Boyd on Talksport. Tommy Boyd. Why am I such a misfit? The Tommy Boyd radio experiment. It does exactly what it says in the paper. I smell bacon. Life's gonna suck when you are right now. When you grow up, when you grow up, it's sucks bad right now. Life's gonna suck when you grow up, when you grow up, when you grow up. Life's gonna suck when you grow up. Tommy. It's not much about it. Let's go straight to the lines and see who's there. It's the Human Zoo on Talksport. Good evening, line 1.
Best friend
in the whole world.
Pretty much, yeah. Thank you.
Well, now you know where I live. I will not be a stranger.
Oh, no, won't be. Good.
There'll always be a kettle on here.
Oh, great.
No idea, but thank you, line 1. To line 2, you're on the Human Zoo. Good
Right,
evening.
Tommy, I'm trying to get a bit of kip down here.
I'm sorry.
Shut up!
I'll keep it down. Nice one. Line 3, you're on. Hello.
Good morning, campers. I'm the Uncle Lonely and I welcome you to Zombie Holiday Camp. Camp is with the difference. Never mind the weather. When you come to Zombie, the holiday is forever. Never mind the weather. When you come to Zombie, the holiday is forever.
Welcome.
Fine. What a cracking first run down the switchboard. Let's see who's on 4. No idea. Thank you for that. Line 5.
I got some audio.
Excellent.
Hello, sir. Remember me? I'm the man you thought I'd never be. The boy who you reduced to tears. The lad called Thingy for 6 whole years. Yeah, that's right. My name's Bob. The one who landed the pop star's job. The one who you told Luke don't touch. The kid who wouldn't amount to much. Well, I'm here, and you're still there. With your fake sports car and receding hair. Dodgy Farrah trousers that you think are smart. Married to the woman that teaches art. Married to the life, married to the school. I want to sing and dance, sir. Now who's the fool? Sing and dance. You thought I was balmy. Settle down, Thingy. Join the army. And who are you to tell me this? The dream I want, I'll have to miss. Sir, it's God. He's been given the right to structure lives overnight. Now I know life's true path. Tanks and guns, that'll be a laugh. No, not me. I'm a mega civilian. I won't need my life riding pillion. But thanks to the device, and I'm sure it'll do for the negative dickheads just like you. As for now, a different weapon. The stage and screen is about to beckon. And here I sit in first class. Bollocks, sir. Kiss my ass.
That's no way to talk to his career's advisor.
Oh, it's the damn right way to talk to your
You should have listened to him. Join the army. Yeah. It would have made a man of him.
Become a lance corporal. Nice one, fella. Yeah. This is line 6. Hey there, line 6.
I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights, but not when they are red. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights, although my name's not Bamba.
Oh, I thought his name was Bamba, man.
No idea. That was a terrific first run down the switchboard. And that's how it works. It's the human zoo. We take calls without screening them. People go straight through to air. They can make a point that's been missed in the debate so far, if that's what they want to do. But generally speaking, people seize the opportunity to express themselves via somebody else if they've got a piece of audio that they think does it best for them. Or sometimes, as in a couple of callers that we had in the first 6 there, they just do their own thing down the phone. Keep it down to about 30, 45 seconds, something like that. If you can't get your point across in 30 seconds, then your point ain't worth getting across. 30 seconds is good enough. It's why commercials are 30 seconds long. You know, you can get everything. You can say it all in 30 seconds.
Some are 10 seconds.
Some are 10 seconds,
yeah,
and the shorter the better with many of the contributions to the human zoo. But that was an absolutely cracking first run down the switchboard. Keep it clean, keep it lawful, and then we'll be able to leave our fingers off the dump button this evening. Excellent. Great start. I'm Tommy Boyd. It's the Human Zoo on Talksport. Ash is here. You all right, man?
Yep, I'm all right. You all right?
Oh, yeah, never been better. Tonight's the night.
Have you never been better?
Never been better. I always say that, don't I, dear?
No.
Tonight's the night.
Tonight is the night.
I think you've got to see your life like that. You know, the moment. The moment is the thing. You know, tonight's the night. You've got to say that every minute of every day.
Keep that tune going around your head. This is my moment.
Yeah.
All the time.
Once in a lifetime. 08704 20 20 20. Now, if the switchboard's solid, you can email the Human Zoo, talksport.net, click the button that says email the show, and Ash will be getting to the email machine for the first time about 10 or 15 minutes. So
you try and stop me.
Yeah.
Hey, monkey.
Hello, fella. This is line 1. Hello,
Look at me, monkey. Hey, monkey. Look at me, monkey. Monkey. Monkey.
Go on, my son. Did that feel good?
Look at me, monkey.
Bye-bye. Knockout. A very surreal mood settling over the show this evening already. Hello. Line 2, you're on the Human Zoo. Have you got the tape ready to go or not? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Have you got the tape ready to go?
We haven't got the tape ready.
Have you got the tape ready to go or not?
No, we've missed it, Tommy.
Oh God.
Do you know what I'm going to do, though?
Go on.
I'll give you a ring in about 5 minutes when we got the tape ready.
I would.
Yeah, because then I can play it to my mate.
Persevere.
Because we respect you so much.
Persevere.
All right?
All right.
God bless, mate.
Yeah, God bless. God bless. Line 3, you're on the Human Zoo on Talksport. Hello.
Why are all Welsh people tossers?
And to line 4. Good evening, line 4.
They're not, are they?
No.
No,
well, possibly. I think most
just
people
the same
do.
proportion as the rest of the nation.
In all probability. There aren't statistics. Thankfully. Who'd want to see those numbers? Line 4, you're on the Human Zoo. A ship jumper. Someone jumped ship the minute they were live on air. Go on.
Right, well, what seems to be the problem?
Well, I've got a pretty sore neck.
Okay, well, just have a look. How's that? Bad? This one? Yes, you could try sticking this.
I think I'll take that out.
I think we'll take that out. I think we knew where that one was going. That was agile fingers there, Ash. Yeah. Good evening, line 6.
I still want to have your children.
Fantastic, babe.
Send a stamped addressed envelope.
What a cracking switchboard we've got tonight. I tell you, everybody's absolutely right in the block hole, in the zone.
Yeah.
Line 1, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I speak to Ash?
You sure can.
Ash,
Yes?
what's your full name?
I can't disclose that for security reasons, but you can call me Ashia Beaujolais
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Well, that's true.
It's a wrestling thing.
We should all have numbers. Is it?
It's a wrestling thing. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Who says that then?
I can't remember.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I can't remember. Someone will tell us. Line 2, you're on the Human Zoo.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, I'm through here.
Say that. Ask your question again. He's gone. Line 3.
Tommy!
Hey!
Alright, Tommy.
Sir.
You know, me and my mates, we all think Ash is a bit of a knob.
You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that to my face.
Yes, I would.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
You come down here and say that to me.
Okay.
He hasn't said anything yet. You've got the attitude. You've got to bring it.
Yeah, I'll bring bring it.
Well, you haven't, have you? You just pitched up on the phone, you coward.
Yeah, you're really scaring me, man.
But you don't talk the talk.
No, don't stop it. You.
Bring it on, Ash. Bring it on.
Bring what on?
Bring it on.
He's not interested in you.
Go to bed.
Right, give me that.
He's not interested in you. See, I'll tell you what, we're getting a little bit of the old email culture. Have you noticed with emails, people are a bit braver than they would be in real life, you know?
Yeah.
You know, they're curt and, you know, a bit feisty. I know you said arsey then, feisty.
Yeah.
We're getting a little bit of that on the switchboard.
I like it. I like a bit of that.
As long as it doesn't go too far, I'm not bothered. Yeah. Line 4, you're on the Human Zoo.
Mike Dickin is a rather large man. He is the Human Zoo's biggest fan. He phones the zoo every Sunday night. When he does, he's high as a kite. He presses redial with a childlike grin, waiting to utter the famous phrase, "You love Mike Dickin."
I tell you, it's quality tonight, isn't it? It's almost too well written tonight. Think how many man-hours it would take to put this show together after...
People are going to start asking questions.
They are. If we were doing this artificially, you know, it would take a team of 6, working flat out.
24 hours a day.
24/7.
For the week.
Line 5, you're on the Human Zoo.
I am against squashed muffins.
And iodine, thorium, thulium, and thallium. There's yttrium, terbium, actinium, rubidium, ammonium, gadolinium, niobium, iridium, strontium, and silicon, and silver, and samarium, and chromium, lithium, beryllium, and barium. Isn't that interesting? I knew you would.
Excellent. 08704 20 20 20 if you want to have a try. But there's competition tonight. People are good. Line 6, you're on the Human Zoo.
Yeah.
I want 10,000 pounds, or I shall ignite your cow underpants, which I have with me right now.
You can't have it. I saw them earlier today.
This guy's good.
Good.
You ask what sort of people they are. Those are people out there, like you and me. They look like you and me, but that's all we know about them. About their minds, their motives, we know nothing. They may have something our senses can't detect. Okay, if this is Earth, where on Earth? And when? That rock has power, energy, intelligence, and purpose. Well, you're talking as though it's human. No, it's not human. But it is a life form. What we don't know is its purpose.
08704 20 20 20, that's the number. Or you can email the Human Zoo with comments. Keep it down to a paragraph or so, and let us know your real name if you like and where you're emailing from. Talksport.net. Click the button that says email the show. This is the Human Zoo. There's nothing else quite like it.
You're listening to the radio by yourself. Everyone else is living a perfect world, and you're stuck listening to the radio by yourself. Look, try the Talksport single connection. It's the easiest way of finding someone in your area who's sitting there right now in exactly the same frame of mind as you. Call 0870 243 6907 and leave a few details about yourself and let the system do the rest. It's easy. There's no obligation, and it's totally confidential. Just call the number 0870 243 6907. It works. 0870 243 6907. Calls charged at national rates.
The school holidays are here.
Make them fun and get out on a half-price Virgin Value fare. A London to Blackpool returns from £12.50. Selected trains and conditions apply, subject to availability. You must travel off-peak and book in advance only at virgin.com/trains or by calling 08457 222 333.
Mother, will you please button it?
Virgin Trains is a part of the National Rail network. National Rail. It's time to return.
in and out and in and oh, in again. Right leg to the left leg's off. Feel that burn.
Mike Dickin does current affairs because he can't do aerobics. Mike Dickin in the morning. Essential current affairs and conversation. Tomorrow morning from 10 on Talksport.
Tommy boy.
This is your assignment.
The hatred of a nation against an impish has-been.
Tommy Boy, throwing a bone to the yapping dogs
on Talksport.
Come on then, we're ready for you.
Oh yeah.
Ash is on his toes after that last call.
Yeah, I want him to come and say it to my face.
You'd get him.
Yeah.
It's the Human Zoo on Talksport. We take calls live, unscreened, and pretty much at random. If you call the show, you'll hear some messages from Talksport. Stay tuned. Keep listening to the phone. You're stacked. That means you're stacked. You're in the mix, okay? As soon as the messages change to either, well, silence or me saying hi line, whatever it is, that means you're on and away you go. Most people have kind of got all this, but this is just for newcomers. Let's go to line 1 and see who's there. Hi, line 1.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I would like to speak about the Middle East.
The Middle East?
Correct, yes.
Correct.
I can't understand one thing. Why do the Palestinians call assassinations when Israel targets Hamas militants when they admit that these militants are planning suicide attacks against Israel?
Fascinating question, and it's so rich and interesting. I'm going to spend time masticating over it, perhaps for the rest of my life. Thank you for that. Line 2, you're on Talksport's Human Zoo. Every time you tune to Radio 1, this is what they're playing. I think there's only one song at the moment.
Yeah, this is it, yeah.
Appalling, isn't it, really? It really is sad, the state of,
poor kids.
Of popular music. Let's go to line 3. Hi, line 3, you're on the Human Zoo.
Here.
Yeah.
Here. Hey, Tommy, could you say smelly socks 10 times in a row really fast?
No.
You can't.
I won't.
Can you?
Yes.
Right?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't feel like it, really. Should I?
Try it later.
What's in it for me?
Nothing, but I go to one of yours.
And to line 4. Good evening, line 4. You're on the Human Zoo.
Don't leave your hair in the sink.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Keep the shower clean. Don't.
Faintly disturbing. Thank you for that, line 4. Line 5.
Alright, Tommy.
Hey.
Alright, James here. I'll
James.
get some shouts, bruv.
Yeah.
I want to give shouts to my mate, Stephen, my brother Ray, and I'll shout out to my mate, Colin and Gary.
Have you really got a brother called Ray?
Yeah.
How old is he?
About 20 odd. He always rings up. You might hear him in a minute.
I thought Ray, was a name that kind of went out around about 15, 20 years ago. You didn't get many Rays.
Nah, it's a modern name.
It's not.
Nah, he's a right bloke.
You don't get... Ray Parley, yes, but I haven't heard of any other Ray... Yeah?
Looks like Blake Charlie Dimmock, doesn't he?
Anyway, a little bit, that's true. A little bit. Thank you for that. Did you see the Gay magazine voted...
Oh, no, I don't read those.
No.
Tommy, I know you read them all.
Oh, I'm an avid reader.
Yeah.
They voted Manchester United the best-looking football team in the country.
Yeah.
And the best-looking players were Alan Smith. Is it Alan Smith?
What, from Arsenal? The ex-Arsenal player?
No, not Alan Smith. What's his name? No, the Leeds laddie. The Leeds
that's
kiddie.
Alan Smith, isn't it?
That's Alan Smith. Yeah, Alan Smith.
Alan Smith.
And David Beckham, obviously, and Michael Owen.
I thought David James was always like near that.
Oh, you'd have thought, wouldn't you? They voted,
Not since his nose got smacked in that
Arsenal, the ugliest team in the league.
Well, it's always been like that.
Always been a little bit.
Well, Alan Smith, as I was saying.
He always calls me that.
Tony Adams.
08704, quick. 08704, well done. 704 20 20 20. Line 6, good evening.
The moon is full.
Yeah, it is a fullish moon, and it always affects us.
Oh no. Is it? Where is it?
If you're driving along or just tuned in and you're wondering what this is, it's the thing on Talksport. Welcome, called the Human Zoo. We, on a Sunday evening, we try to sort of tap into the way most people are feeling on a Sunday night, when, whether you've got, like, work or college, school, university, whatever, if you've got you might have commitments in the morning, you might not, but even if you haven't, Sunday night is still a slightly sort of anarchic, there's a kind of, you feel you don't want to, you'd rather be somewhere else in the week.
You'd rather be somewhere else.
You'd rather be somebody somewhere else in some other week than on a Sunday night in your own life, and makes you a little bit sort of restless, and especially when there's a full moon, which there is tonight. Mind you, I have to say that the switchboard has never been better. So far, I'd give it a 10, occasionally a 10. 9.8.
Yeah,
are you well?
Tinkering.
Have you had a good week, or what?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's been all
highlights,
right,
lowlights.
The highlight.
Yes.
Well, it would have been that Breville toasty I made.
Oh, yeah.
It was really delicious, you know.
What was
perfect
in it?
garnish.
What was in it?
But it was I think it was a mature cheddar.
Oh, lovely.
But not a, just it was specifically.
The roof of your mouth needs to know you're eating cheese, or else it's not cheese.
You need to talk to the roof of your mouth.
It's whack.
And tell it.
That's where you get it, and that's why in our house we like the blue veined.
Oh, I can't. No,
No, is that too much?
It's too much.
Okay.
I did have 4 days where I liked it, and then it's too much. Too much.
You're a capricious man. Capricious.
Yeah.
08704 20 20 20 is the number. The Human Zoo on Talksport. Let's rush down the switchboard again. Been going so well. I almost don't want to spoil it. Come on, line 1, your turn.
www.icombat.com.
And line 2. Hello, line 2.
Good evening, Tommy.
Good evening.
Hello. You probably won't remember me. I was campaigning against old people. Could I say a few words against old people tonight?
By all means, bearing in mind that these are your views and not the views of Talksport.
Yes. These are my views. Can I just tell you a story of what happened to me on the golf course the other day?
Sure.
I was walking up the golf course, and me and my friend were stalled for 25 minutes on the short 320-yard 5th hole because of an old geriatric fool who couldn't carry his clubs without taking about 3 seconds to move a step. Isn't that a crime against humanity, Tommy? Old people?
Did you manage to get down in anything approaching par?
Yes.
What did you score on this 320-yard, presumably par 4?
Well, it was a bogey.
You got a 5?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was all right.
And thank you for your views. 08704. The highlight, since you're asking, line 2, the highlight of my week was buying a hybrid club.
A hybrid club?
Have you ever played with a hybrid club?
No.
They're very, very good.
What's a hybrid club?
Well, it's a wood iron.
Ah, wood iron.
It's a wood iron. I bought a 3 wood iron.
Doesn't appeal to me. Really.
Well, it's got arguably the control of an iron, you see, and the distance of a wood. And it's got a nice fat shaft, so for accuracy.
Yes.
And one of the big manufacturers make a really powerful one that a lot of the good players now have in their bag. For 200 quid, but I managed to pick one up new for 45, so I recommend it.
45?
45! Tommy, you have paid 45! So I
didn't know you play golf.
I don't.
Oh, you just like clubs?
I do. I like the whole thing. I like practicing and the whole thing, but I ain't very good. So I recommend a hybrid club to you, young whippersnapper, regardless of the fogies on your golf course.
Thank you very much, Tommy.
Not at all. 08704 20 20 20. Or you can email us, talksport.net. You know the works. Let's go to line 3. Hi, line 3.
Today on Brass Pie, as Scottish football crumbles around our faces, we ask, is this SP hell? Scotland, 2001. As our national sport flushes down the sewage drain, what can we do to stop the whole sorry mess creating a stink wave like so much mad cow beef in a ventilator shaft? Conrad Oscillator speaks these words. Thanks, Chris. You join me in the north of Scotland, where a decimation of the Highland League due to their top-end clubs skittering off to join the SFL has seen a massive overswell in the amount of excess footballers in the region. To counteract this, the local authorities have introduced a selective cull on players in contiguous stadia, as our hidden microphone now reveals in all its brutality. In a most cruel and gut-popping manner, these slack George Palmer boys are being scythed down, quite literally, with their own scythe. This truly is Armageddon, Chris. Thanks, Conrad. But it's not just the cousin fondlers. Even our metropolitan dwelling folks are in a troubled danger. And things really are so far out of our grasping hands that they now inherit a somber voiceover from a concerned celebrity.
Oh, hello, Bravehearts. People around the country have burst their faces with tears over the news that the old firm was set to move down to the English Premiership. What they don't realise is that the plans are more advanced than first thought. The Glasgow Giants are looking to dismantle their entire stadia before remantling them on Brighton Beach, leaving the residents of Paisley and Coatbridge having to support their local teams.
And what of our players? Unsurprisingly, the complexities of modern-day football have left their brains as swollen as an old man's prostrate. As Vivacity Underwriter now reports with her mouth. Vivacity?
Yes, Chris. Things have got so crunched up.
It's very good. I think it's somebody else's. I thought that for a minute it was original, but I don't want to play stuff from other radio stations to any great extent, which is what I presume that was it?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I mean...
I thought the national sport in Scotland was... I thought it was
yes?
tossing cabers.
Well, they do that for the tourists in much the same way.
Is that not what they all do? Like in
much the same way as they change the guard outside Buckingham Palace.
It's not what they do on a Sunday afternoon.
No. Good God, no. No. They're not all Rob Roys, you know. Line 5, you're on the Human Zoo.
You spoilt my illusion.
Well, that's fine. Yep. Go see my brother. No way, you big spastic, you're a mentally.
Thank you. Line 6. Hello.
Hello. I was halfway through an email to you. Then we had a power cut. I shall now read the email. Name, Ray McCune. Age, 19 to 24. Comments. Dear Thomas, I would like to make a point missed in the debate on Friday night. With reference to the woman talking about the F word. I have one word. Fantastic.
Okay, that's cool. That's fair enough, isn't it? If you can't get your email off, phone it in.
Well, yeah, I mean, phone it in if you want, and, yeah, but it's not really how it's meant to... You know, the whole point of email is you don't have to do that.
But he had a power cut. So presumably he had to...
you know, it's not our problem.
He had to reboot.
Just candles.
You have to reboot if you have a power cut. If you're on your computer and it's lying, the whole thing has to crank up again.
Not necessarily. You should actually have a backup power supply generator.
And you get... Who's got one of them? And you get a display of all the software that you downloaded that you don't need. You know, what?
Well, it's not good enough, is it?
Have you got a generator?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
I have.
I used to have a generator.
Yeah.
I used to own a generator.
Yeah, mine...
The bloke who sold it to me openly said it was nicked.
Really?
Yes.
What, and you bought it?
He said, when I say openly said it was nicked, he said, just don't ask any questions. I said, well, I was desperate, because I was in a house that didn't have any power.
Well, I'm afraid I must arrest you.
And I had to get the central
I must arrest you now.
Probably was an arrestable offence at the time, but...
well, it still is, actually.
Oh, but, you know, no...
Well, I'm sorry. You can tell it to the judge.
Maybe he was just trying to, move the sale along by making the goods seem somehow sexier. Because people do like...
Well, I'm sorry, you can tell that to the judge. It's mitigating circumstances.
Is that it?
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Damn. 08704 2020 or talksport.net, you know the works, if you want to send the Human Zoo an email. Line 1.
Tommy?
Hey.
You used to be a comedian, didn't you, of some sorts?
Yes, I had 2 seasons as a stand-up comic. It was terrible.
Could you tell, any good jokes?
Well, the best jokes you can't tell because they're too good for the audience. When you're doing the stand-up comedy I was doing, which literally was, a man goes into a pub, or dare I say it, an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman, or my mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's all the comedy there was in, then, in the 70s. The audience, quite frankly, aren't up for some of the quality stuff that you'd like to do.
Are your jokes on the same sort of level as Andy Jacobs is?
They're not my jokes. Nobody makes their own jokes up. You take jokes and you as you're telling a joke, you work out where the audience is going and therefore what needs to be the next joke. But they're never your own. So I don't have any jokes.
All right.
Since you asked. And there he goes.
It's all in the delivery, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
The best joke of all was the man who goes for an eye test, and originally it was an Irishman, but then you change that to an idiot or something like that, you know, or an Aston Villa supporter goes for an eye test. And the optician says, cover your right eye with your left hand and read that board. And he has trouble distinguishing his left hand from his right hand and his left eye from his right eye. And this goes on for a couple of minutes, and you get a little bit of comedy. So then the optician goes out the back, empties out a packet of cornflakes, cuts a single eye hole in the box, comes in and pushes it down over the man's head so that he's just looking out the one hole. And he's about to say, read that board, when the man's shoulders start to heave and he's crying. And the optician says, what's the matter?
Yeah.
And the man says, it's just that I hoped I'd get a gold-rimmed pair like my brother. That is funny.
Why did he put the cornflake thing on his head?
So that the man wouldn't have to work out for himself which eye to cover with which hand.
Right, but he was an optician.
No, the man in the seat was having to work out. He was covering his own eyes, you see.
Yeah, but the other guy was an optician.
He was an optician, and
he had to use a cornflake packet.
Well, he didn't have anything else to hand that would enable the man to close.
Was he not in the opticians?
Close one eye or open. In those days, again, you know, opticians weren't as well equipped. It was all national health then, you see.
Yeah, but they had those things and you put
they
the
do
black,
now.
You put the black lens in, and
they
that
do
blocks
now.
off the eye.
Oh yeah, they do now. That's because it's all private, you see, and they want to fleece you for as much as they can whilst you're in the chair. So the more technology to bamboozle you with, the easier it will be to take 45 quid off you.
It's true. That is very... So they used to use cornflake packets.
But it was a very good joke because of the bit about I hoped I'd get a gold-rimmed pair like my brother, because that then speaks a load of stuff about the man's motives for wanting glasses in the first place, which is to, you know, appear as intellectual as other members of his family. So I just thought it was good. I personally think that's the best joke I know.
It's funny, that is.
It's all right. There are worse. 08704 20 20 20 since the man asked. Or you can email the Human Zoo, as I said before, you know the score. If you get your PC, go to talksport.net, have a roam around. Excellent website. And you want the button that says email the show. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talksport. Ash is here.
Ask yourself, what music reflects your mood? This, or maybe this. However you're feeling, here's a collection of music to reflect your every mood. It's called, quite simply, Moods. 64 mood-enhancing tracks to soothe you, to relax you, to put you in the mood for whatever. Moods is all yours on 4 CDs for $29.99 plus $2.50 post and packing. Delivered to your door within 14 days and your money back if you're not completely satisfied. You won't find Moods in any shop. Only by calling 08705 445566. In the mood yet? 08705 445566.
This is the sound of a car crashing at 35 miles an hour. Here it is again in slow motion. That strange sound is the passenger hitting the windscreen. That weird sound is his head fracturing. That crack is a leg breaking. And that's the sound of a seatbelt being fastened. Think. Always wear a seatbelt.
On 1089 and 1053 AM,
Evening, Sunday night on Talksport is Zoo Time. From 10, after Steve's fine delve into the world of high politics, we open the phone lines, and if you call, you come through to air unscreened. Nobody asks you who you are and what you want to say. Gives people a chance to really express what's deep in their breast on a Sunday night, which is usually some kind of angst, because it's Monday in the morning. We started off, of course, with people wanting to make points that have been missed in the debate so far, but the spine of the show has become very much just people wanting to give a little performance or an expression of how they feel. And it seems to work. 08704 20 20 20 is the number. It's ideal for a Sunday night.
You normally stop for that crescendo bit there.
Yeah, well, I just let it happen. I can do all that. Do you want me to?
It's too late now, we've passed it.
I think if you listen to it again, you'll hear
There
that
is another one, isn't there?
I hit it just right, but we were both talking then. You can't talk up to lyrics together.
No.
You know. Here we go. Go to line 1. Line 1, was that good enough for you?
Yeah, that was nice.
Line 1, you're live on the Human Zoo.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey.
I know you're quite closely involved with Portsmouth FC, and I'd just like to pass on my commiserations about Aaron Sutherland today. It must be pretty depressing for everybody at the club.
That's much appreciated. It was a huge shock this morning, of course, and I've been in contact with the rest of the supporters club, and well, people really are just you know, shattered. Really, he was a good goalkeeper, and he was a nice man. He was a good guy. I can't say I knew him, but I was sort of standing in a circle of people talking from time to time, and he'd be there after matches. And he was a good lad. He really was a nice guy. So when the dust settles, we're going to decide at Portsmouth Supporters Club. I'm chairman of my local branch. What we're going to do about it. He had a family, and it may be that's something we could think about. Making our respect known with some involvement with his family. But at this moment, thank you for that. All we football fans can do is just shake our heads.
Yeah, but good luck for the rest of the season anyway. I hope you recover from this.
Appreciate that, thank you.
Hi Ash, by the way.
He's at the email machine, but I'll say you said hi when he comes back. Actually, he'll have heard because we've got the radio on, obviously, in the email room. Let's go to line 2. Hi, line 2, you're on the Human Zoo. What's that?
Right.
Let's go to line 3. Line 3, you're on the Human Zoo.
Oh, sorry. Testing.
No. I'm not sure if we can do Derek and Clive. I'd love to do Derek and Clive. I would love to play Derek and Clive. I can think of 3 sketches I know you'd love, and you're grown up enough, everybody is. And sensible enough to deal with it, but I think it's probably just a bridge too far in August 2001 at 10:40 at night on a Sunday. Maybe, I don't know. I'll speak to the powers. Line 4, you're on the Human Zoo.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello.
This is Squidman here.
Squidman?
Yes, I have a message for Mr. Fish. I want the goods in the briefcase. And, Tommy.
Sir.
You love fish pie.
So we all do. Who wouldn't love a nice fish pie? Let's pick up line 5. Hey, 5.
Confucius say, man with splayed buttocks has great difficulty walking.
Confucius very rarely said anything, actually. He just tended to point or indicate things with his eyes, as I understand it, but thank you for that. I don't know what splayed buttocks are. Ash might know. Line 6, you're on the Human Zoo.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Didn't you think... Hello? Hello?
Yes, you've got the radio on, you see.
Yes, I do understand that, yes.
No, you didn't,
really
otherwise you wouldn't have said hello back to yourself the 3rd time when you heard it coming out of the radio.
Oh, well, there you go. Do you think, really, Michaela Strachan is worth a whack a day?
Several. And I don't think I'd run into much opposition on that one. Let's go to line 1. Line 1, you're on the Human Zoo.
Look at them up there in the window, looking at me down here. Boy, wouldn't they be surprised if they knew what I'm planning for them? A great new super production featuring a great superstar.
Oh, that's nice, thank you.
Very pleasant.
There's a hiccup with the email machine at the moment, I understand.
Yeah, that's right. Not all the processors
I don't have those passwords that you need to hand there to access it the way that you suggested off air just now, so I'm sorry. I thought we might as well say it on air. It's easier than me. Just, I can't mime. No, I don't have my password, username, and log on details because I rarely use the computer system here at Talksport. I'm tending to talk to people, as you do.
It's good to talk.
As you do. 08704 2020. Line 3. You're on the Human Zoo.
Cyril the Wasp, and I would like to talk about the legalisation and decriminalisation of cheese. Yes, it is a sad reflection on our global village that many people are ostracised from society for using cheese for recreational use. I myself started off using soft cheeses, but I've never been tempted to use harder dairy produce. If we are sensible, we can keep those who choose to abuse cheese under control by rehabilitating them back into society and restricting them to those dry, horrible, cheesy biscuits. Good night.
Yeah, but they don't replace it, do they, really?
What?
The cheesy biscuits.
Don't replace cheese?
No.
No.
I mean, when you're coming off cheese, they don't help in any way.
I've never found a cheese biscuit that I liked. No. When you're in a hotel and you have the, restaurant and they bring around the sweet trolley and so you say, could I have some cheese, please?
Yeah.
They'll bring you a selection of cheeses, but also a selection of cheese biscuits, and they're all
they're no good.
Not very nice.
Apparently in Switzerland, there's a pilot sort of system going on, and they're actually weaning people off cheese by giving them cheese.
Well, a sort of
I know that sounds mad, but they actually...
Homeopathic cure.
No, they give them the cheese, but under observation.
Ah.
They won't, you can't just go and have the cheese. But, the figures are incredible when you look at it.
I'll tell you what's odd. You know Parmesan, which it comes in very big, hard blocks?
Well, you can also get it, of course, in the powdered form.
Yes, you can.
Very dangerous.
Don't like that. I'm always surprised that people don't eat Parmesan by itself. It's got to be grated onto pasta or something, because it's a delicious cheese. And if you take a potato peeler...
It's lovely, isn't it?
And just pull off a shard of Parmesan.
It's beautiful.
And just look both ways to make sure nobody's looking, and woof that down. It'll keep you buzzing for about, long enough. 08704 2020.
But don't abuse it.
No.
Foundation presents... And in 40 minutes, basketball from the United States, NBA 2000. This is LWT. A revelation from Tommy Boyd amazes Talksport listeners. From ITN, the news at 10, presented by Stephen Hawking. On the radio program earlier today on Talksport, Tommy Boyd made an announcement which surprised many thousands of people across the country. Mike Dickin is having an affair with Timmy Mallet. In a telephone interview, he had this to say. Line 5, hi. Good evening, Mr. Boyd. This is Stephen Hawking from the news at 10. Oh, good. Do you condone the relationship between Mike Dickin and Timmy Mallet? I don't. You asked me, I don't. Do you think it will be a great loss to radio broadcasting if Mike Dickin loses his job? Not really. But the newspapers are reporting that he is getting a lot of pressure to quit his job. I wonder if the gay people are going to get cross about that. And in the 80s you used to present the Wide Awake Club with Timmy Mallet. That is one of that's one of the most unsung treasures there is. And do you have a lot of admiration for Timmy Mallet? I do. Well, I personally don't have any. You don't? None at all. Finally, what program do you think will win the title of the greatest children's TV show of all time? Nightmare. Thank you for your time, Mr. Boyd. Goodbye. Stunning. I loved line 5. More on this story can be found by visiting TommyBoyd.50meg.com. That's all for now from the news at 10. Good night.
Fantastic. They're getting a bit good, some of these people. Getting a bit good. This is great.
We might have to stop it if it gets too good.
We'll keep moving. We'll keep moving. Hello? Yeah?
Yeah.
This is... You are?
Hey?
You are?
Did you hear what I just...
He's gone. That'll happen.
He's that bloke, isn't it? He
Uh,
wants some, doesn't he?
probably.
He's
Oh,
asking,
him.
he's asking for it, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He wants it.
Yeah. You're really on your toes tonight, aren't you?
Jesus loves Mike Dickens. God knows why.
A lot of people love Mike Dickens.
What does the H stand for in Jesus H. Christ?
Harold.
Oh.
Everyone knows that. Did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, he's Harry.
And where was Richard Branson's airship on Friday night?
Yeah, that's a point. I think it probably was a dirigible. That's what I think. It was a dirigible.
And could it be that I'm a traveller, like Ash? Because on the planets I come from, James Whale, Charlie Wolfe and Mike Dickens are all fart-brained twits.
Thank you for that. Line 3, you're live on Talksport's Human Zoo. Good evening.
You're a big man, but you're out of shape. Hello, James.
You're a big man, but you're out of shape. Now, this is my job.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Front rank, fire! Rear rank, advance! Line 4, you're live on Talksport's Human Zoo.
What?
Do you know that joke that ends like that?
No.
You know about the one about the traveller who arrives, it's pouring with rain, his car breaks down, so he knocks on a farmhouse door.
Mm.
And the farmer says to him, yes, you can sleep here the night, you'll have to share a bed with my beautiful daughter, but if you touch her, if you so much as touch her, then I'll blow your brains out. And he says, fine, and the daughter comes down in her nightdress, and she's a beautifully equipped 21-year-old, blonde, and so forth. I can't tell the joke, not just yet, I'll tell it after 12, when we get into the X.
Keep that in your mind.
I will, but it ends... Line 5, you're live on Talksport's Human Zoo.
Oh, sorry, wrong number, man.
I do know a joke that ends like that.
Go on.
I can't say it.
We'll do it after 12.
No, I can't even do mine after 12.
You can't even do it in the X hour?
No.
Must be bad.
Hello, line 6. Yeah, it must be bad.
Bad, man.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing about jokes, isn't it? When you're told you can't hear them, you want to hear them.
I'll tell Tommy.
Yeah, hey, how come the watershed doesn't seem to apply to radio?
I know. A lot of people have said this to me. They've said, why is it that we can be watching a bit of telly and they're going at it hammer and tongs and the language and everything and the blood. There's blood coming out of every orifice and wound. But on the radio, still people aren't allowed, to express themselves. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. It's almost as though radio's more like sort of the Catholic Church, and television has this sort of Jekyll and Hyde attitude towards more. I don't know.
Right. Well, anyway, I've got someone here who you love. Actually, it's Mike Dickens' chicken. Zebedee.20m.com.
See, with chickens, you can very easily get people to create images in their own mind. You can just sort of go like this. You see, what's happening here? Ready?
That is a...
No, I haven't finished. I haven't finished yet. What? That could be anything. Couldn't
well,
it? That could be anything. That scenario could be just about anything you like.
Yeah, it could be, man. Well, no, it couldn't be anything you like.
What,
couldn't be a chicken asleep, could it?
What did you see? Do you have a picture?
I saw a chicken being assaulted.
Yes. Isn't that interesting, you see?
Attacked.
Well, not really, but,
Well,
yeah.
It can be interesting. I saw an interesting photograph once about that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you know that legend has it, and Time magazine in America reported this as fact, that the longest a chicken has lived after its head has been severed and cut off by the farmer is 218 days. Yes.
Yes?
Yes. According to Time magazine, this was back in the 50s, the farmer kept the chicken alive once he realised that this was remarkable.
Wasn't it bleeding out of its head?
Only for a while, and then it
it
settled
clotted.
into... yeah, and he kept it alive by feeding it through what was left of its neck, but with an eyedropper.
Oh.
He fed and watered it down the gullet using an eyedropper, and the chicken continued for 218 days to have some sort of a life.
And
going around the
just sort of chilling,
chicken coop.
like a normal chicken.
Not pecking, obviously. Or
Was it banging its neck? Was it banging its neck on the
That's
floor?
not reported. It's not reported. One would imagine that it got used to its environment whilst it had a head, and therefore, in a headless state, was able to...
Well, we don't need heads. It's all a myth. They'll be laughing at us in 100 years.
They will.
When they say, look at them, they all walk around with their heads on.
They thought their heads were so important. If only they'd known.
If only they'd known about their little toe.
Yeah. It's all down there. That's the seat of our consciousness.
All the nerve endings meet there.
We did but know. 08704 2020. To line 3. Hi, line 3. You're on the Human Zoo.
Hiya, Tom.
Hiya.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this Mike Dickens show gets mentioned quite a lot on the show. I listen to it regularly. I'm not sort of cussing the show down. I enjoy it. But, if you took everything that man says seriously, you'd end it all yesterday, wouldn't you?
He's a current affairs commentator.
Well, him and other people like him, yeah.
He's entitled to have a full mosaic of views.
And there's no one like him.
There's no one like Mike.
No.
He's a one-off.
I was on a bus here about 2 weeks ago, and a young lad got up at the back and sort of ran a couple of steps, whipped out his micro scooter, whizzed down the centre of the aisle, turned, and it's one of these with, like, the ramp that goes down for wheelchairs, and he whizzed off the ramp and shot off. No one else was getting off the bus. No one else was getting on. There was no queue at the bus stop. He harmed no one. No one was in the way, but everybody did that, and that look, you know. Yeah, and they're the kind of people that must take Mike seriously. They must be believers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're the sort of people who, when somebody gets on the bus and they've got their Sony Walkman on, and you hear... Which is, what's that compared to the roar of the bus and the planes overhead and the traffic and all the noise that you have in the world today?
I just find I sit and try and work out what song they're listening to.
I do, and you sometimes can't you?
Yeah, you can.
And if I do want to annoy them, what I'd usually do is I say, especially if they're sitting opposite you on the tube, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, or on a bus sitting opposite you.
Yeah.
You just say, through clenched teeth, right, so they can't see your lips moving, you just say, I wonder if he's going to go deaf if they don't like that. And you usually get 2 or 3 people go... and then they'll go, yeah, I wonder that. I was like, oh. But the point is that what annoys people is A, that the person with the headphones on is usually young.
Yeah.
And B, they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And the lad with the scooter,
yeah.
I mean, that's a great statement, and he's just having fun.
He was hurting no one.
They don't like it, do they?
They don't,
They do not like it. Which, of course, is all the more reason to do it again.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's right,
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, them and asylum seekers.
Yeah. Asylum seekers.
Get them all going, don't they?
Don't they need more?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, when I buy, I brought a bottle of brandy this weekend, and a lot of that went on tax, and if that went to helping someone that came from a war-torn country where they were in fear of their lives, then I'm glad it cost me £4 more than it would have done in France.
You're an extremely wise man.
Thank you.
And you will live forever. If you do not know it yet, that I promise you. Thank you for that.
You take care, Tom. Love
and
you
you,
and your
fella.
family.
Nice one. And
Bye.
same back at you with knobs,
Cheers.
brass bells, whatever. What a nice man.
What a beautiful,
What a great hour this has been.
Man.
Oh, fantastic. Let's get the tape and put it all on over again. No,
yeah, let's play that whole hour again, backwards.
Let's take the news and sport on the Human Zoo on Talksport. I'm Tommy Boyd. Ash is here.
Oh, what a goal! Just give it out!
I've got some good sport for you.
Why? Where are you getting this from?
Steady and jumping one at a time. Hold the barrel steady and jumping one at a time. Hold the barrel steady and jumping one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. I have got
Good evening, it's the Human Zoo on Talksport. On a Sunday night, myself and Ash, who is here, Let's kind of kick our shoes off, put our feet up on the furniture and just take the calls, come through without screening them, checking them. There's no phone operator, phone producer.
Absolutely no processing
No
whatsoever.
processing taking place. So people are exactly who they feel like being when they get to air. And what's interesting is that on a Sunday night, works on a Sunday night wouldn't work really too well anywhere else, I don't think. People just want to kind of express themselves. 30 seconds of angst. A lot of it quite well thought out, though. Has to be said. Then sometimes people just want to make a couple of points. But they tend not to be points that have been missed in the debate so far, just observations about what it's like to be them and the mystery of being a human being.
Do you know what, like, you don't get any rock bands where the front guy plays the bassoon.
No.
Why not, then? What is it?
It's so true.
Why?
So true. Why? It's the sort of unwritten hierarchy.
You don't have a bassoon player in a
of rock
band.
music, no.
That would be good.
It would. 08704 20 20 20. And the harmonica has got such appeal, hasn't it? The lead singer can only ever play a bit of harmonica.
Why not a bassoon?
Why not a bassoon? Line 1, you're on the Human Zoo. Evening.
Give the gentleman the best in the house. Yes, sir. I'll be back in a minute.
On a mountain in Virginia, stand your lonesome pine. Just below is the cabin home of a little girl of mine. Her name is June, and very, very soon she'll belong to me. For I know she's waiting there for me, neath that lone pine tree. In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine. In the pale moonshine, our hearts entwine, where she carved her name and I carved mine. Oh, June, just like the mountains are blue, like the pine, I am lonesome for you. On the trail of the lonesome pine.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine. In the pale moonshine, our hearts entwine, where she carved her name and I carved mine. Oh, June, like the mountains I'm blue, like the pine, I am lonesome.
He hits him on the head.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia,
Why is it
on the trail of the lonesome.
It's quite simple. Thank you for that. It's so damn simple. The other thing that gets me is that of all the comedy that Laurel and Hardy did, that certainly is not the funniest. No. There's bits of dialogue that they do that's a lot funnier. But that was the one that got to number one Christmas, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Because it's a song.
Yeah.
People wouldn't go out and buy 3 minutes of comedy. They feel they can only go out and buy 3 minutes if it's musical. Yeah. And I've often wondered why that should be. Because if you released the argument sketch from Monty Python or Who's on First Base by Abbott and Costello, then I would go out and buy that.
Yeah.
The second record I ever bought was by a band called the Barron Knights. I bet you've never heard. You've heard
yeah.
Yeah, there was time. It was just a comedy. It was funny. It was good. It was funny. Yeah. But there ain't too many funny things in the charts. Ever been in the charts that are just there because they're funny, genuinely funny. Some of them are funny. You laugh at them because they're rubbish.
Yeah.
But you never get, good bits of dialogue released as singles, and then people go out and buy them, and which is a shame, if you ask me. 08704 20 20 20.
It's a damn shame.
Damn shame. Let's see who's on line 2.
Yeah, Tommy.
Hello.
Right, mate.
Good.
Yeah, I heard that Ash could do a really good impression of the Bee Gees. That's what I heard, yeah?
Where'd you hear that?
Well, I've heard it through the grapevine, mate,
That's Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I know, but is it true that Ash could do a really good impression of the Bee Gees?
Is there anything in this?
I'd like to hear it myself, personally.
I'm asking him, is there anything in this, Ash?
Go on, Ash. Go on, Ash.
What would you like me to sing?
Go on, Ash, you could do it, mate.
Well, what?
Come on.
What?
Give us Staying Alive. Give us a little... Yeah, here we go. Right.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Pucker. Thank you.
But I don't know how, I've never been known to do that.
Well, it's just in the ether. The point was you rose...
It's not my falsetto.
I thought it was good. The point was, you did it. You rose to the occasion. Well done. Line 3, you're on the Human Zoo.
John Hartson, just how sick are you?
Very.
Can you quantify that for us?
I'm Welsh.
Thank you. All complaints about the previous sketch should be sent in writing to Anne Robertson, care of Points of View.
And line 4. Hey, line 4.
Wasn't the same after Barry took it.
No.
Magpie Productions presents a breaking news story. Now we take you to Anna Potter at the Highbury ground.
Thank you, Magpie. We're standing outside Highbury football ground where the West Stand has just burst into flames. Fire crews are there down it out. Police inquiry has started. However, they believe it could be arson.
Not bad, not bad. Well done, fella. Well done.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. Line 5, you're on the Human Zoo.
Oh, sorry, send by wrong number.
Yeah, good.
He bottled it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's
no, he bottled it.
Well, I don't mind. Right, I did it wrong. That's cool. And 2, line 6.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey, who's this?
Gary.
Hello,
I called
Gary.
you last week.
Sorry, I missed that bit.
I called you last week.
Well, nice to talk to you again.
Yeah. You don't remember me, don't you?
Not yet, no. There's not a lot to go on there, fella, but don't be downhearted.
Oh, right. I just, talk to you about your theory of how we all created and so on and so forth. And
oh, that's not my theory.
It's a fact.
It's known to a great many people. I know I meet a lot of people who aren't familiar with the truth, but it's widely known and has been for thousands of years.
What is it anyway? This theory?
Well, it isn't a theory, it's how it is, and gradually...
It's a hypothesis.
Gradually science is beginning to catch up with what has been known to a great many people, but not everybody by any means, for thousands of years, which is that...
Anyhow, Tommy, I'd just like to ask you a question.
Oh, right, I won't explain it again.
So we won't know what it is.
No, we won't know what it is. No. Anyway, go on then, Gary, ask us a question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I've got 2 questions. I'll try and make it quick, though. Do you think, in the future and in the past, do you believe every, millisecond there's another one of you acting out what you're doing now, and do you think there's one in the future doing something and you're reenacting it?
No, it's all more or less happening at the same time.
Yeah, it's just, it's just something I keep on thinking. I think another millisecond before me, and a millisecond before that, and before that, and before that, so on and so forth, yeah?
No, I understand.
But I was never born, I just think there's another person just doing it, and I'm, reenacting it, and they're reenacting me.
Yes, well, there's not a reenactment about it. It's not a duplication of you. It is you, but it's elsewhere. How can I best put it? And as far as moving backwards and forwards through time, of course, that is happening, because if you go far enough forward into the future, such feats of travel are simple. And so it's something that we are able to do as a species in the future, but therefore, because by its very nature, time travel, for want of a better way of putting it, enables Homo sapiens to travel back and be with us and see us now, then of course it is going on. And they reveal themselves to us in different ways, but they do. They do. And they are doing it all the time now, and they're with us now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're in the room with you now, but...
they're in the vicinity.
Look at it this way, Gary. Supposing you grow up and have children.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have children. 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 A million years from now, there'll be people who want to meet their great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, trace their roots. Everybody does. They'll come back and see who you are.
Yeah.
They won't say hi, but they might leave you with a better feeling than you had before they came back to pay their respects to you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's very logical. Yeah, go on.
I know you're a busy man on and off the air.
True.
And there's all these people saying that you should read books and all that rubbish, yeah, and, you know.
Yeah.
Totally respect that. I wonder, though, you've probably got a PC. I'm assuming you've got a PC.
Yeah.
Do you play any games on it?
No, I haven't got time.
What about Ash?
I'm sure Ash doesn't either.
No,
Ash is too busy with his social life, my friend.
Although sometimes my mate has one of those PlayStation new ones, you know.
Oh yeah, my boys have just got two.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, it's because most people on the radio that talk about football and these sports stations, and I know you're a fan of football, Tommy, it's just that they all usually have a copy of Championship Manager.
Football Manager.
Yeah, they do. You're right, Pete. I think there's one loaded on my machine, but I've never got round to it.
A lot of football journalists sit at home playing Football Manager, pretending they're the manager.
Yeah, I know the sports editor of another big radio station. He gets in first thing in the morning and he immediately plays his Test cricket game.
Yeah, and
for about an
fantasy
hour.
football. They love their fantasy football, don't they?
Gary, thanks for your call. Was that it?
Yeah.
Well done, fella.
Cheers, Tommy. Bye.
Cheers now, bye.
Yeah.
Yes, it began with what scientists call the Big Bang. It wasn't a Big Bang at all.
It's more like
It was a separation.
a fission.
It was the separation of the spirit that we call God from the matter which we now call the universe. God, or the living thing which is the spirit, which has been known to all civilizations on this planet and elsewhere, because it sowed its seeds across the universe at that time, and subsequently separated from the matter, which is what actually all of us hope we can do, you see.
What?
Separate from our matter.
What?
At the moment
and go where?
At the moment when our matter expires, it is our hope that we separate from it
the matter
and go somewhere else. Well, in a nutshell, that's what happened at the beginning of everything. That an enormous spirit separated from an enormous matter, form of matter, not size, and so because we, in a sense, are recreations of that moment, it is our hope, and that hope should be fulfilled for most of us, that our spirit will separate from our decaying matter in the same way as what happened in what's called the Big Bang saw the separation of something which was tangible from something which was even more wonderful and mysterious, but intangible, which people have called it.
You can touch it.
Spirits. Essence.
The essence.
And Holy Ghosts. But scientists are even now able to discover that there are things in the universe, or there is something in the universe that you can't actually pick up on with photographs or with radar or, you know.
Well, how do they pick it up then?
Well, they can tell that there's something else exerting some kind of an influence on the universe and everything that's in the universe.
It's your solar wind, isn't it? It's your solar wind. That'll be.
But they can't actually, they can't get hold of it. They can't.
Well, how do they know about it?
Because it appears to influence, for example, the way in which galaxies move apart, the way in which galaxies swirl, the way in which planets move apart, the way in which galaxies move apart and yet swirl at the same time. They believe they're able to calculate that the effects of their momentum and their gravitational pull against each other would produce one sort of a result, but when they make those projections, they find that they're getting a subtly different, but definitely something they can calibrate, but a subtly different set of results, which makes them think that there is something else acting on the matter that's in the universe, something else in the universe which is completely invisible and has no form, has no matter. Anyway.
Oh, there is.
Oh, there is.
There is.
There is.
I mean,
yes.
Like the holes in cheese. Are they holes or are they full? You know what I mean? Is the cheese the actual hole and the holes are full?
Now, you see, Tao said something very interesting about that.
Yeah.
The most important part of the wheel is the hole.
Exactly.
At the centre. 08704 20 20 20.
Are you the owner or director of a business? Are you in a commercial dispute with an individual or supplier? Maybe your dispute is with another company, a bank, or other professional organization. Well, if your dispute is worth £20,000 or more, and you think you're in the right, but are worried about the cost of legal action, then don't be. Speak to IIB Law now on 0870 444 2288. For one fixed low-cost fee, our specialist advisors will review your case and assess if it's likely to succeed. What's more, if we take on your case and don't win, you don't pay any lawyer's fees. We've helped businesses successfully resolve disputes quickly and effectively. So if you have a commercial dispute in excess of £20,000, call IIB Law now on 0870 444 2288. That's 0870 444 2288. Lines open 24 hours. Calls may be recorded. Insurance may be required.
I could never stop worrying. I had so many loans, debts, monthly bills, payments for this, payments for that, but some of my friends never seemed to worry about money at all. They were all in debt to some extent, but hadn't let money worries get on top of them. I asked what I should do, and they told me about Dial for a Loan and how I could reduce my monthly outgoings by up to 70%. Thanks to Dial for a Loan, I've cleared all my debts with one low-cost loan. I even have enough money left over each month to enjoy life a bit more, and I don't worry. Dial for a Loan offer a free no-obligation service, so if you're a homeowner, call free on 0800 915 0011. That's 0800 915 0011.
Loan secured on property and subject to status. Written quotations available on request.
Bloomberg Radio, the definitive guide to the latest form on all the markets and all the money. Bloomberg Radio, the UK's with the latest financial news that moves markets. Bloomberg Radio, across the UK on national digital radio 24 hours a day. Bloomberg Radio.
Tommy Boy.
You're tuned to the Human Zoo on Talksport. We take calls on a Sunday night without screening them, and people have ended up giving kind of performances, or at least expressing how they feel, or asking the kind of things, talking about the kind of things that really are actually, you know, can't get more important, really. Just kind of what it is to be a human being. Yeah. 08704 20 20 20 is the number. Thomas the Tank Engine is the music. And line 6 is on. Hi, line 6.
I got a joint here, man. I've been for a special occasion. Tell Fargo, what's up with your eyes? Is that a joint, man?
Thank you for that. Thank you. Line 5.
Phil, man.
I couldn't quite place it.
Up in smoke.
Was it? Thank you. Who's that? Cheech and
Chong.
Ah. Line 5, you're on the Human Zoo.
It's that time of the week again. It's time for Sing Along a Sci-Fi. This week, it was to be Captain Scarlet, but his uniform has run in the wash slightly, so he's had to change his name slightly. Pray listen. Captain Fuchsia, he's the one who knows the Mr. Wrong game and things they plan. Captain Fuchsia, to his Martian foes, a dangerous name, a Superman. Crash him, and they know he will burn.
And you know he'll return.
That's the one.
Yeah, keep up.
No, I missed it.
Yeah, no, you've missed it. You did good though, fella. You did some work, and there was something there. I like it.
As they say in football, good effort.
Good effort.
Do they say that down south today? Or is
no.
that like a Birmingham thing?
Very Birmingham thing.
Is it?
This is the voice of the Mr. Ones. We know you can hear us, Earthmen.
It was strange business. Do you remember the lights, the hooped lights that used to cover the earth?
What's that?
And Captain Scarlet.
Oh no, I'm more of.
Didn't work for me, Captain Scarlet. Anyway. Thank you for that, fella. 08704 20 20 20. Line 4, you're live on the Human Zoo.
Crankfeld, Boss, War, Jam, Nitty Gritty, you listen to the beat from the big bad city. This is Graham Presser.
Cool. Thank you. Line 3, you're on the Human Zoo. Hi.
Big bad city. This is Graham Presser. So, thank
thank you. Line 3, you're on the Human Zoo. Hi.
Delay's working.
Nicely again tonight.
You got to listen down the phone. You can have the radio on, but you got to be listening to the phone. Then you know you're on, like line 2. Well, nearly.
The broadcaster and entertainer Clive Anderson has been shot dead by television host Noel Edmonds at his house in Cornwall this evening.
This is funny.
Police attended the incident but were prevented from entering the grounds by machine gun fire. From Cornwall, Vivian Banch reports.
The incident took place at around 7:30 during dinner when Mr. Edmonds produced an automatic weapon and began shooting indiscriminately at his guests.
One servant witnessed the bloodbath but managed to escape intact.
I came round the grounds, round the back way, and then got through the fence over here.
Any idea why Edmonds done it?
No idea. He's never done it before.
An hour later, Edmonds appeared at a top window with blood on his face and threw what may have been a head onto the ground below.
Thank you for that. That was the last brass eye after the one about, the media coverage.
Oh, was it?
Of the Peter. Did you miss that? Have you not watched Brass Eye? This show,
yeah, but I haven't seen that one.
This show says Brass Eye rules.
Yeah, man, it's funny with some of them.
It's extremely funny.
Yeah.
Top show. Great director. Brilliant guy, Michael Cumming. Brilliant. Genius. Possibly the biggest genius working in British sitcom. One of the great unsung heroes, because obviously Chris Morris gets all the flack, as well as all the plaudits, but great show. Great show.
Yeah.
People don't realise it's taken the mickey out of television news. That's all. Brilliant. 0870422. It's funny, actually. That's the thing. It's actually funny. Because there's not enough that's supposed to be funny that actually is funny. And when you watch Brass Eye, you laugh. Ha, 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 out loud. That's what we want to do.
Big belly laugh.
We want to laugh out
like
loud.
Brian Blessed.
I don't want to sit there and go, that's quite funny. That's not entertaining me.
Yeah.
That's like a peck on the cheek. Whereas a full-blown laugh, that's like the big O of entertainment.
Yeah, it's laughing like Tom Baker after a few pints.
How does he laugh after a few pints?
Very exuberant.
Have you been out for a few pints with Dr. Hook?
I've heard about it.
That he laughs big?
That he's a very big laugher.
I've told you this before, but did you ever see his Life in the Day of?
No.
In the Sunday Times colour supplement at the back, they do this thing called Life in the Day of, where all these people have to do a day in their life. So they go, alarm goes off at 6:15 a.m. and usually I go downstairs and feed the cats and make myself a nice cup of coffee. But Tom Baker's went like this. He went, I awake on somebody else's sofa and wonder whose house this is and why I am here. If no one else in the house is stirring, I sneak up to the bathroom and check the cabinet to see if there's any Valium. If there is, I pop a couple and rush out into the street and away. And it was all like that. I'd like to meet him. Do his laugh again. Fantastico. Line 1, you're live on Talksport's Human Zoo. Hello.
What's happened, man?
Having trouble with their audio. Shame. Never mind, try again. Line 3 it is now. Hi.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey.
Yeah, can I just say you've got the best show ever, Human Zoo, and you guys do a really good job, and just keep it up, yeah?
You're kind, man.
I listen every single week. Yeah?
Thank you for that.
I listen every single week, and you guys are just great. You're the best ever on the radio.
Nice of you to say so. Cheers.
Right, Tommy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What a beautiful man.
Beautiful man. Nice man. Line 4, you're on the Human Zoo. Can't place it. Sounds good, but can't place
Cheech and
it.
Chong, I think, again.
Ah.
Cheech and Chong theme going on.
Thanks, 4. Here's 5.
Start by saying it's a privilege to speak to you. Just an inspiration for Tommy. It's just a clue. I'd like you to wait for the one, basically. It's guys that are turning up. He's called Tommy's Gay Fan Club. Because Tommy's a gay icon, you know that, don't you?
My bongos. Beat my bongos.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo! My name is the Flansmeister. Because I am a very homosexual man. Well, you'll have like dicking You love telling that it nice one.
Okay, somebody done a little bit of audio. A bit indistinct, but apart from that, you know, good work. Here's line 6. Hey, line 6, you're on the Human Zoo.
Do-do-do. 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 Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Cool, 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 cool. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine. In a bag I'm useless, but not for long. My future is coming on, is coming on, is coming on, is coming on, is coming on. Finally, someone let me out of my cage. 180. Mervyn, you require 121.
That was all right, actually.
Not bad. Could have worked more on the dark voice, the dark commentator voice.
It came out nice. It finished well. You got to finish well. That's
a nice finish.
That's the most important. If I give people in life 2 pieces of advice. 1, finish well. Doesn't matter how you start. Finish well. Yeah. And 2, get more sleep.
Leave them wanting.
Get more sleep.
Get more sleep and
finish well.
Give up the work ethic.
Oh. Line 1, you're on the Human Zoo on Talksport. Hi.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey up.
Hello, you're just talking about Chris Morris and Brasseye. Did you ever hear Blue Jam, his radio programme?
Bits of, yeah. Not enough, though.
Because what he does about 6 hours of it, and what's the point that brings up, you've mentioned a few times recently about the F word and a few times about censorship on the radio.
Yeah.
Some of his stuff, it was constant swearing all the way through, and some of it was even more disturbing than the infamous Brasseye which came out. What actually are the rules about on the radio?
Well, it's funny, there was an academy, a festival held in Manchester about 3 weeks ago, and I was asked to go up on stage along with a couple of other good, fine fellow broadcasters from other radio stations and talk about how far can you go. And the consensus was actually that nobody knows. It is not written in stone, you see. It can't be. You can't have bloody shall be used, but not between the hours of 8 in the morning and 10 in the morning, because children might be listening in the cars on the way to work, although that's the sort of thing broadcasters have to consider.
Yeah.
However, bloody can be used after 10 o'clock Monday to Friday unless schools are out, because therefore necessarily it's housewives and they don't mind bloody.
Yeah.
You can kind of think in those terms, but I think what you've ended up with in radio is an unwritten set of simply sort of sensible, not even guidelines.
Parameters, just parameters which people work within that they can...
What happens is, I'll tell you how it works. It works like this. Somebody says something, somebody doesn't like it, that specific then gets tested and is considered either acceptable or unacceptable. So you don't know what the rules are until you discover that something is definitely not on.
And then you complain, and then...
And then you get told you mustn't do that again. Yeah,
and then
that's how it works.
Down the line, someone tries it again.
What you can't get is a handbook of what you can and cannot say or do.
Because what was quite interesting is that Radio 1 didn't advertise Blue Jam. There was the first time when it was first on, there was a little bit of advertising, but when it came on again the second time, I mean, it was in all the listings and everything, but there was never any trail for it, there's never any done for it. I mean, some of the stuff on there was disturbing. I mean, I like Chris Morris a lot, and that's why I like him.
But did you like that disturbing?
It pushes. I mean, that's what I think that he actually tries and does. He actually he is pushing.
He wants you to think.
People,
that's my view.
Think, yeah.
He wants you to think. He wants people to think. He doesn't want everybody listening to his show. That's important. You don't want. These days, there isn't so much broadcasting. There is broadcasting, but what there actually is, you see, is narrowcasting.
Yeah.
And what you can't do is say to people, you are not supposed to be listening to this. This really is not your cup of tea. It's not that you're unwelcome. It's just that you wouldn't be amused, entertained, interested, stimulated by it. Actually, what we're saying is you shouldn't be listening to this because you'll probably get cross.
Yeah.
But you don't want those people listening. You don't want to offend anybody. You just want to be able to do something which will mean something to a small section of the community. Then you've really got them. That's what's called, in my book, essential broadcasting, something that people think, hey, this is aimed just at me. And there might be another 1.5 million people in the country who will feel exactly that. This is aimed just at me. And they take entertainment from that, and damn it, they even take comfort
from that because somebody has recognised them and the way they see the world.
And in fact, that which is actually, I think, best suited to radio because it is such a personal experience. Because it is.
But that is what they do, isn't it, in radio? Because there could be a swear word like at 10:30 at night said on one show, and people complain and they say, well, no, that's all right. But then it could happen at 10:30 on another show, and they would uphold that because they'd say the audience listening to that wouldn't expect that.
It depends. You see, I'm very tempted to use one of the words that at the moment are pretty much outlawed for broadcasters, but again, I might fail the test of did I actually need to say it, even though it falls exactly into the conversation that we're having. We're going to talk about, for example, a word which we can't say. How can we talk about it without saying it? But again, because I think it would be slightly gratuitous if I were to say it on live radio for the first time, in my case anyway, I'm not going to. There is an element of gratuity about it. But it's all down to the context, and if someone were to say the F word and it were appropriate, then I wouldn't dump it. I would let it go out, provided it was this sort of time of night and provided it, as I say, was the right word for somebody to say. If somebody were to be describing the birth of their child and they were to say that they were just effing ecstatic, that would be acceptable, I am sure, because it was such an expression of the way they felt.
There are two words, aren't there, where there's just
two words.
Can never say. One of them a derivative of that word,
yep,
and the other one gynecological.
And that one I couldn't imagine a way of you, because that one is almost exclusively used as an insult. Yes, and it insults a lot of people in a lot of ways, and that's just a bridge too far. But the other word is often used merely as a substitute for very.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it is. It just means very, 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 very extremely.
But it's the only word that can mean that.
It's the word that means that to the most extent. So if you're really trying to express that you feel ecstatic, it could be, under certain circumstances, that is the only word that will do for extremely or very, very. But again, there's no guidelines, and again, you can't write that out and say this is how this word might be acceptable. You simply have to let it happen. If you judge it's appropriate, see what happens. And if you get told you got that wrong, then you don't do it like that again.
And it's all quite a fluid situation, I guess. It was very interesting what you were saying with that old lady, was it last night, the other night, about he just came up with any word and said, does that offend you? And it's still, I think people want to be offended at times. It is.
Well, if you're an old lady on the bus and there are three lads up at the back and they keep using what's called bad language, then I think what really should offend you is the fact that they clearly want to offend you.
Yeah.
Because they generally are using that kind of language because they know that there's something slightly unlawful about it and that it is likely to upset some people. So that's upsetting that they should choose to want to do that. In a sense, it's the social equivalent of spitting or graffiti or, those kind of misdemeanors.
Yeah. So, okay, Tommy, nice one.
Yeah, good one, fella. Thanks for that.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, see, sometimes the Human Zoo can be the most intelligent show on the radio. Yeah. Fantastic. Great show tonight, Ash.
Yeah. Quality.
Yeah. Down to the full moon. 08704 20 20 20. That's the number if you want to try. The email machine's still got a bit of a glitch, so stack it or try the phones. You're tuned to Talksport. It is the Human Zoo. I'm Tommy Boyd with Ash.
If you had to put money on which went faster...
Ill-informed. Thanks for those.
That's the bit I remember. You didn't see the show. That's the bit from Brass Eye that I remember, with Chris Morris taking call and ill-informed. Line 4, you're on the Human Zoo on Talksport.
Line 4, you're on the Human Zoo on Talksport. Chris Morris and Bob.
Very good.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful.
Here's line 3. Hi, line 3, you're on.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey.
I've got some audio here.
Okay.
But first, can I say that this is the best zoo I've ever heard?
It is. I think it is.
Fantastic. The first time was pretty good.
Yeah, the first time. Ash, do you agree?
Yeah.
It is the best. It's got the lot.
Okay, tell me if this isn't loud enough, okay?
Okay.
together in, come on now, let's get together in perfect harmony. I got a friend, you come my arms, and I'll give you the key. Come on now, let's get together in perfect harmony. Oh, we got 20 acres, and you got 43. Now I got a friend, you come my arms, and I'll give you the key. I drove my tractor through your race. Oh, I threw my pitchfork at your dog to deep. Oh, I'm telling me.
It's a Wurzels remix.
Oh, now, darling, you got something I need. I got a friend you come my arms, and I'll give you the key. Oh, now let's get together in perfect harmony.
This is the doctor.
We got 20 acres, and you got 23. Now I got a friend you come my arms, and I'll give you
Hello to the Tommy Boy chat room.
I'll stick by you, I'll give you all that you need.
It was Melanie, wasn't he, who had the hit that sort of a development from. Do you remember?
Oh, really?
A girl called Melanie.
Did the original.
No.
Really?
She was a girl. She was a one-hit wonder, but it was a huge number one.
So were the Wurzels.
The Wurzels.
They were number one with it.
A couple of hits.
Did they?
It was Christmas. I'm guessing here. I would say it was Christmas 1973. And Melanie had the hit, and then a couple of months later, the Wurzels had a Christmas number one with it.
Nah, sorry, mate. No.
No.
No, it wasn't 73, the Wurzels.
Was it not?
No, it was more like 76, 77.
No.
Yeah?
No.
Sorry, mate.
No.
No, in fact, it was later than that. It was 78.
I can't remember
79,
I can't remember the words to Melanie's song. But it was a haunting song. No, she didn't sing about Harvester. She sang about, I've got a something, and I'll give you the key. I can't remember what the words. It was a strange song, and you got them then. It was Charlie Wolf knows. I can tell by the urgency of his body language. Go on, Charlie.
I've got a brand new roller skate.
That's it. Do it.
You don't need keys for a roller skate.
Yes, you do.
Sing it, Charlie.
Well, I've got a brand new pair of roller skates.
A
brand new key.
I think that we should get together and try them out. You see, yeah.
She also did one of the all-time great protest songs, Candles in the Wind, Lay Down, Lay Down. Lay down, lay down.
Oh, we didn't get that over here.
Oh, big protest. It was very, very 67 Woodstock. Fantastic artist, Melanie.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Charlie. Nice one. As our music correspondent, Charlie Wolf.
Combine Harvester's better.
Yeah, it was better, infinitely better. Yeah. Far better. But it didn't work well over there, I shouldn't think.
Why not?
Well, you know, bloody Yanks are like... The Yanks have never had one of our comedy songs in their charts.
Oh, no, didn't they release the Benny Hill one?
Nah.
Don't they like Benny Hill?
Nah, they wouldn't have had, Milkman. What's his name?
Ernie.
Let's go to line 4 and see if they're paying attention properly. Hello, line 4, you're on the Human Zoo.
Smashing shot. Absolutely smashing.
Okay, line 5, hi, good evening.
Tommy here.
Hey.
Tommy, you got a good show out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one thing that's spoiling you.
Okay.
I got rid of him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Because I think that was the pillock.
Oh, right.
So the one thing you wanted to say, I got rid of him.
Yay! Well played. You're quick. I like it. Too quick for me. Let's go to line 6.
Hiya, Tom.
Hey, who's this?
It's Scott from Birmingham. I was just wondering, Tom, if I don't know whether you've got it with you or whatever, but if you could play that, you know, people sending these clips to you by the website.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you got the one handy? You know, the one about the computer where it says you scroll the screen and click the mouse and whatever else it says.
I don't think I've got it with me tonight, no, but I will play it again. It's cracking, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote that, they have got a future. It's kept me and my family entertained for a long time. It's really good.
I'll pass that on. It's a very talented young Talksport listener, Human Zoo fan called Alex. I will pass that on.
A star.
I have spoken to him on the phone about himself, and you're right, he's got a future, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he has. If that's original, it really, really was good.
Totally original. Yeah, nice one. I appreciate you saying this.
No problem. Okay, Tom, take care.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Nice, mate. Let's try line 1. Good evening, line 1. You're on the Human Zoo. Do I need to keep saying that?
It's a very echoey line, isn't it?
It's a very echoey line.
That sounds good, man.
Do I need to keep saying this is the human zoo?
No.
That's sort of a habit you get in radio. You start keep saying who you are and what the show is and all that.
No.
It's fairly redundant. Let's stop broadcasting for a minute, shall we?
Yeah.
Hello, line 2.
Hello.
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 Will you do your little trick for me now?
Certainly.
So, can you say smelly socks 10 times fast?
No.
Please?
We've been down this route. You're banned. I said only one call per evening. Did you not hear?
No.
Yeah, well, in future, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Because there's stacks of people getting through and they get cross if they can't get through when somebody manages to get through twice in one evening. So it's not a rule, it's kind of, you know, it's just fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Some people we don't allow through once in an evening.
Well, if it's you had
you know
to do
what I mean?
with it,
You know what I mean?
we'll just allow
rule with an iron fist.
one call.
One caller per hour.
Hello, line 3.
Yes, look, could you just be a bit quiet? My sisters are in bed. I mean, one's 10, one's 8, and you've really got to calm down because it's blaring out on my radio. Okay. And I just want to make sure that they wake up, otherwise I'll get in a lot of trouble. Okay, sorry. I don't really want to turn my volume down, so I'm sure Ash can change, like, the volume there.
Or just speak quieter.
Yeah, that's very soothing voice, actually. That'll send me straight to sleep as well.
Actually, I'll tell you what's interesting, you know. Well, I mean, you don't get people broadcasting like this.
No.
Because everybody thinks they've got to shout and be up all the time.
No, I'm not doing it like this.
And maybe you haven't.
You haven't.
Maybe this is just as valid a way of broadcasting as being up and bouncy all the time, you know.
Well, exactly.
You know.
There's no need to shout about it.
There isn't. Shall we try a little bit of this?
Yeah.
All right. Of course, then, see, if a caller wants to do something brassy, then we'll just have to go with it. And what we'll do is we'll match our callers, Ash.
We'll go with the flow.
Okay. Hello, line 4.
You are only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. I've already told you.
You're a big man. Let's do it our new way, shall we? You're a big man.
You're a big man.
But you're out of shape.
I am out of shape.
Front rank, fire. Rear rank, advance.
I do this for a living.
Line 5, you're on the human... Oh, there I go again. Hello, line 5. Hello, line 5.
Quality.
Yeah. Come on.
Joe 90, isn't it? Yeah, Joe 90.
Why was he called 90?
Well, it sounds better than just Joe, doesn't it?
When I was a boy, there was a TV commercial for a futuristic washing machine, and the voiceover used to go like this. In her street, they call her Mrs. 1970.
Where?
In her street, they call her Mrs. 1970. Because 1970 was considered the glamorous, glitzy future that all of us could aspire to.
And was she had silver makeup on?
Well, the thing is, I remember, it's about 1965, and I remember thinking, 1970.
Yeah. The future.
I wonder what it'll be like.
Do you remember what they used to do when they're showing the future? They'd have round televisions.
Yeah.
And pointy sideburns.
Yeah.
And people would wear silver clothes with pointy shoulder pads.
The future's never anywhere near what they say it's going to be like.
Well, one day it will be like that.
But it won't. I know what it will be like, but it won't ever be like anybody's ever suggested it will be like.
Yeah.
The only thing that ever came near was a bloke in 1908 wrote a book about the biggest liner that had ever... Do you know this one?
No.
He wrote a book. He was an American, and he wrote a book. It was the only book that's ever known by him, and this was the book. And he wrote a book about a gigantic liner that was built. And on its maiden voyage, it sank to the bottom of the ocean, and everybody on it drowned, and it was supposed to be unsinkable. And he wrote that 3 years before Titanic. And guess what the ship was called in the book? Titan. And that's just a little bit.
That is witchcraft.
That's close, isn't it?
It is the devil's
That is
word.
close. That, I have to say, that is, that's not bad as stuff like that goes. Anyway. This is line 5. Show 90 still going strong. Hello, line 6.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Tommy,
Yeah.
do you know any words that rhyme with hanky? Or is that just a naughty word?
I think it's naughty enough for us not to continue the conversation.
It is a total lack
All things being equal. Hello?
I think that was rude, Tommy.
I couldn't understand a word of it.
I think that might have been out of the Brass Side programme.
I have no idea. Lines are sometimes the best way to be oblivious. I don't know what this is, but I just had a thought then.
What?
In about 50 years' time, there'll be two old geezers sat in one of those windbreaks that you get looking out over the sea at Eastbourne or maybe in Skegness, right?
Yeah.
And they'll start talking. They've never met each other before.
Yeah.
And you know the only thing they'll have got in common, and they'll start talking about it, roomy-eyed, is the human zoo.
Yeah.
Because anything that means a tiny little bit more to you than most stuff is something that you always remember, especially when you get old.
Yeah.
You know, lead soldiers and things it is for old people now.
Memories to cherish.
Yeah.
Cherish the life we had. We will cherish the... It's beautiful, isn't it?
That was lovely, Ash. I could have listened to that all night.
I'll do your tape, man, and loop it for you.
Oh, I'm serious. I could listen to that.
Put some echo on.
People would pay money. People would buy that. Are you all right there, or is that... I think you should think about changing to a milder brand, perhaps.
Indeed. Anyhow, I love Mickey J's dad. It made me to get him a birthday card. Good night, Tommy.
Good night. Or possibly move to the country. Hello, line 3.
Hello?
Hello?
This is for Ash.
Yeah.
It's for you to decide who's singing it. Ready?
Yep.
Take off your clothes, let me see what it is that you're hiding. And don't look so shocked, you haven't to fear from my eyes. My daddy is a priest, you know, and I am not a beast, you know.
I think it's James Whale.
Want to look, I just want to look.
I think it might be. That's my guess.
And naked as nature intended.
It could be his voice when he was a younger man.
And I'll take off mine just to show you.
No, he can't sing.
In good faith.
This guy can't sing.
He sings better than Whale can.
My daddy is a priest.
He's got a good timbre.
And I am not a beast, you know. I just want to look. Yes, I just want.
I hope the kid comes back and tells us who it is. Hello?
Any ideas?
No, we thought it might be James Whale.
No.
What?
Who is it?
It's Pat.
It's Pat.
Yeah.
Pat.
Pat?
Yeah.
Pat who?
But this song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is it singing?
Who do you think it is?
We said James Whale.
No, it's not James Whale.
Well, who is it then?
Hang on, have another listen.
No, we haven't got enough time to have a listen. We've got to do the news. Just tell us. We're never going to get it. I don't know. Jesus.
Well, it will not hurt you. I promise you that. Trust my
It's Jesus.
Any ideas?
Is it?
Jesus. Just tell us who it is.
Who is it?
Yes.
It's Peter Sarsted.
Who? Peter Sarsted.
As if.
Who's that?
Well, it's sufficiently human zoo because that therefore means nothing. But on the other hand, not quite human zoo because it's better if it somehow means almost something.
Yet nothing.
Oh, Peter Sarsted. 08704 20 20 20 is the number. It's the
What?
It's just the voice. It's Peter Sarsted.
I never heard of him.
No, it doesn't matter. It's the Human Zoo on Talksport.
The Talksport Singles Connection is the easy, confidential way.
10:53 a.m. Tommy Boyd on Talksport. He's planted rice in the paddy fields of Thailand. He's seen the sunrise from the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, ancient walls of Machu Picchu. He's got a Renault Turbo Sport and a TVR. He's got a huge bank balance. He could go out with any woman in the country. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a close personal friend of his house for drinks. He's the closest father to the angel Gabriel.
He is the light.
Oh, Hosanna. He's Tommy Boyd.
No more dirt in the theatre. Attention, Talksport security staff. The alarm has been activated in the celebrity toilet.
Tommy Boyd.
Tonight has been the Zoo of Zoos.
San Diego Zoo.
Zoomongous. Why did you say San Diego Zoo?
Well, because
that's famous zoo, isn't
the zoo of all zoos.
It's a famous zoo, isn't it?
It's a quality zoo, you know. Yeah. You've really got good pandas and all manner of species of animal.
I was listening to another radio station which had a religious program on this evening, and they went down to their local zoo.
Really? They find religious animals?
Well, no, they got talking to the curator, who obviously was also a religious person.
Yeah.
And so naturally, because it was a religious program, and they were talking about the Christianity of zoos.
Let's go to the zoo and sing hymns of the animals.
And they were saying things like, in many ways, the zoo is like the Christian church, in that all manner of, oh God.
See the monkeys swimming in the seas.
It was cute. 087, they were singing hymns. 08704, and they were singing a hymn, and it was that hymn that. Did you know that chant that goes, "You're and you know you are your."
Yeah.
That's a hymn.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that.
Yes.
It's the Human Zoo on Talksport. The basis of it is that we just let calls come to air because on a Sunday night people are feeling in a particular frame of mind.
Why don't people sing hymns on the bus together? Wouldn't society be a greater place if there was the conductor on the bus sort of said, turn to page, and everyone on the bus...
Oh, Lordy.
A hymn.
Oh, Lordy. If I ran a football club, instead of playing a piece of music when my team came out, I would orchestrate the whole crowd to sing a particularly stirring song, which we'd written specially for the club, like a school song.
Yeah.
And that would really, lift and bond and...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
mean, I don't know whether the other clubs do this. Because at Villa they used to do it, when there's when the kick-off at the beginning, does all the crowd roar?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, and they go on, and they kick off. Do you know what I mean? That was good.
At the highest level, most coaches remind their players when they're playing away that they're going to have to weather the first 5 to 7 minutes of the game because the crowd are going to expect and hope that their team is going to score in the first 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah. And so you get a lot of hurly-burly and up and under and frenetic football. Your best chance of scoring if you're on the away side is when the crowd suddenly get fed up after about 7 to 10 minutes and they go quiet. And that's when you can take the game back. Anyway.
Oh, Tommy, I was just going to say about storming Norma.
What?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Line 6, you're on the Human Zoo. Hello.
James Turpin has a bowhead haircut. Body form for you.
Hello, line 1.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey, who's this? Funny.
That was a cab driver.
Funny. Hi, line 2.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend like we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low. And you can tell your friend there with you, he'll have to go. Whisper to me, tell me, do you love me true? Or is he hurting you the way I do? Oh, love is blind, make up your mind, I gotta know. Shall I hang up, or will you tell Ash he'll have to go?
I shouldn't say this because I'm plugging something else. But there's some athletics on tonight, and I'm watching one of the track events. It's a long-distance women's event, and everybody's very, very conventionally dressed, except for the athlete in the green. Who is wearing...
It's a nice hat.
It's a bizarre...
It's a butcher's hat.
Hyacinth bouquet hat I've ever seen in athletics. It's a bit like a Beau Geste hat at the back. But viewed from the front, it looks like a sou'wester. She looks like Captain Birdseye.
I thought it was one of those butcher's trilby hats.
It's not going to catch on, is it? And it is definitely the funniest thing I've ever seen in athletics. And she's coming off the crown of the bend, and it looks as though she might get a place.
Should we just commentate, eh?
Okay, well, as they come round now, in first place it's Anna Ford, just ahead of Valerie Singleton, and in third place it's the female captain.
She's been kicked.
Stumbled there, she's
she's down!
Fallen over! Yes, they've all fallen over! Fantastic!
She's still there.
Dashed and 4 years of hard training and getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and eating sensibly have been completely bashed because one of them stumbled and down they went.
And she got the kick at the end.
Oh, she's going to get a bronze.
She's going to get the bronze, yeah.
And as they come up to the finishing line, it's a girl wins, followed by a girl, followed by the girl in the silly hat.
It's a very poor time.
And meanwhile, round the back of the back straight, carnage. Carnage.
There's no other word for it.
It was the 1,500 metres. Carnage. There's pictures of athletes on the deck. Oh, I do feel sorry for them now. Oh, bugger.
Oh, well, maybe in 4 years.
Mind you, they were all out of a medal contention, the ones who fell over.
Well, no.
They were?
No, not the one with the hat on. She was third.
Oh, she was the one who...
I bet she came third. But she could have won it. She could have won that.
Spiked somebody. But, no.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't have...
No, she wouldn't have won it. No. But the point is, I suppose, if you get knocked over... Yeah. At least here they're now showing the stumble again, which is... Oh, we'll crack on. We'll crack on. Hold on. How many go down in the end? 1, 2...
She dived.
3. She brings... Ooh, she didn't half bring that one down with her spikes. 08704 20 20 20. It's the 100 metres in a tick. I'll just tell you how that goes as it happens. Line 5.
Yeah, you shouldn't have come to line 5.
Hi, line... Why not? Cool. Hi, line 6.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey, who's this?
This is Daz from Tommy Boy chat room.
Hi, Gaz.
Can I ask... I have 3 questions. Firstly, can I sing a song for my mate McPie?
How long?
I'm sorry, mate. I'm bored already. Yeah. Sorry. Line 1.
It's news. Tails. It's news. It's news. On the hour. Such is politics, the painful business. On the hour. What you mustn't do in politics is listen to people, the painful business. On Radio 4. Such is politics. So that's the door that's open now.
The commission are worried that it may not be able to kick that door shut again.
It is the key that turns the door in the lock to open the door. I want to open doors, not shut them. On the hour with Principal Morris.
Okay, thank you. Who's on line 2?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
It's visual. It's Laurel and Hardy, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it's a bit visual.
Come, my man. What is your number? Hollywood 4368.
There's that bit in Zulu, isn't there, where the colour sergeant is holding the roll call at the end of the battle, and he gets to Hughes. Come along, Hughes. I've seen you. You're alive. It's a great line, that.
That is a nice line.
Do you like Zulu?
Well, I've missed it, you know.
Have you never seen Zulu?
I've never seen it, yeah.
Dear God, you must be the only bloke who's never seen Zulu.
I think you're right, you know, because
it's a lovely movie.
I was actually away when they showed it.
That's a good answer. Made me laugh. Line 3, you're on the Human Zoo. Hi.
Ding dong, the witch is there, the witch is there, the witch is there. Ding dong, the wicked witch is there.
And line 4, who's this?
Hey, Tommy.
Hiya.
How you doing?
Yeah, never been better. Who's this?
My name's Andy, but I want to make a complaint.
Excellent.
And the complaint was, or is, that I phoned up earlier and tried to play you some Derek and Clive, and you cut me off.
Yes, I did. You can't be too careful with Derek and Clive. There are things, you know, there are limits, and Derek and Clive usually transcend them.
Yes, but
yes,
this is a question of trust, right?
Well, okay.
And I've scoured the files, and I found one that I can play you.
Okay.
And now, however much I don't want to
understood.
say in advance what happened.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
You know, and all I will say is Ash there?
Yes.
Right. Ash, keep your finger over the button, and if anything bad comes up, cut me off.
All right. All I would say, Andy.
Yeah?
All I said, the way you set this piece up is a lot better than the way you did it the first time when you just fired in with it. I like that on the Human Zoo. That works. But from time to time, it's also nice when people say, look, I'm going to play this thing, and this is the reason, and this is my thinking. Then it gives an extra dimension to it, which is just the humanity of the person who's at the other end. Are you with me?
Yeah, I understand that, but you also have to understand that it kind of has less impact if I say it's not that bad.
Okay, that's true, and I accept that point.
Okay, can I play it?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Testing. No, don't test any longer. I'll tell you the worst job I ever had. What was that? The worst job I ever had was with Jane Mansfield. You know, she's a fantastic bird, you know, big tits, huge bum and everything like that. But I had the terrible job of retrieving lobsters from her bum. Really? Bloody hell, that must have been a task. Well, it's quite a task, because she had a big bum and they were big lobsters. I remember she had a huge bum. Well, she had one, and, you know, presumably in the afterlife... Oh, shut up. She still has one.
See, what's so bad about that?
Nothing.
Thank you.
What do you mean? Don't make a fight of it.
I wasn't making a fight. It was like you started it by cutting me off earlier.
I didn't start anything. I've just got a job to do here. You're having fun, and I'm working for a living.
All right, you didn't start anything, but you certainly stopped something, and I thought I find myself in a Tommy Boyden censorship shocker.
Well, I mean, look, first of all, don't take things personally. Nobody knew who you were. It's like when a car overtakes you and cuts in front. We tend to think they're doing it to us. They're not. They're just doing it. They're doing it to a car. They don't know it's us.
No, I take it personally.
I know you do, but you're unbalanced.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Who's unbalanced?
I am, sorry, you know, when I'm driving, you know, I'm very unbalanced, man. I don't get road rage, I get road outrageous, man.
The problem...
You're that bloke in the White Sierra in front of me, yeah?
Yeah. The only observation I would make, Andy, is because you've chosen a bit of Derek and Clive, which is more or less acceptable for broadcast, it is also, concomitantly, not particularly funny. True?
Well, funny because it is fit for broadcast.
It's not particularly funny compared to the stuff that we can't broadcast, true?
I could think of funnier things to play you. You're absolutely right.
You see, that's my point. Either it's funny but unacceptable, or acceptable and not funny, but that's not to nitpick, because it's just as good as an awful lot of stuff that we've had this evening. and in fact that your conversation about it,
Yeah.
you know, is very much the best bit of the whole thing. So thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome, but can you do me a favour?
Possibly.
Try next week, after 12 o'clock, X hour,
Yeah.
find out what is acceptable and what is not, and I'll play you a really funny bit.
Now, we've been talking about this earlier this evening. I'm sure you were listening. You only find out what is unacceptable after you've broadcast it, and then you're in, you know, what's its name street? Shit Street.
Well, see, there's a word. Now, I could play you something that says the S word,
Yes.
you know,
Shit.
and
No,
shit.
shit's probably
Yeah, it's not
acceptable.
so bad, is it?
Well, it depends how you use it, you see. I mean, I used it there in a kind of a blokey context because after 12 o'clock, I thought it was the most, you could do it. And the fact that there was an element of frisson about it meant that it just kept the broadcast lively, sort of thing.
Okay, can I ask you one more favour and I'll drop the issue?
Possibly.
Can I say shit on the radio?
If it's in the right context and if it's a discussion about the word and whether it's acceptable or not, then of course it isn't the right context and therefore yes.
I mean, has shit become the new crap?
Has brown become the new black?
You
This is the question.
I'll tell you what, you can't fault Ash. He never misses. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.
Bye.
Because it's true, I mean, crap...
You're on very good form tonight.
Crap would not have... Years ago, you know, don't say that word. Now it's like, you know, politicians saying it on the...
Yes,
you know,
true.
And that is what will happen.
I just don't know. I just don't know. Except all I do know, and we've said it a couple of times, but might as well say it again, when it comes to doing a show, on the radio anyway, which is essentially live, that's the difference. Most TV, they've thought about it, 27 people have worked on it, they've had a discussion, they've had a meeting, they've probably circulated it to the heads of department, and that's what they're going to do, and so everybody's in it together. But if you're doing a live program, people are coming on the radio, making their comments, you know, blah-de-blah, Ash and I are beavering away, and this applies to everybody in this kind of radio. You only find out that you have overstepped the mark because somebody else decides that you did afterwards. You don't know where the mark is exactly. Expect it to be more or less both interesting and entertaining and therefore colloquial and sensible about what you do. And you know, hour after hour, month after month, year after year, you get it pretty much right, I think. But
this show is just live philosophization.
Yeah.
You've got to decide at that moment, you know, is this apt?
Yeah, but I'm sorry that guy got a little bit offended because we didn't let the Derek and Clive thing go through. It's just that Derek and Clive generally is...
It wasn't meant to be
the
broadcasted.
first one. It certainly wasn't. But by God, it's funny.
Oh, yeah. It's something you buy and you put in your... You know, you just listen with mates maybe and...
You have 6 or 7 beers and then somebody says, let's listen to Derek and Clive. And you're crying with laughter, even the 200th time you hear it. 08704 20 20 20. It's the Human Zoo on Talksport. I'm Tommy Boyd. Ash is here.
Wow, you look pleased with yourself. Yes, I've just given away everything I own. My house, my car, my shares. Are you mad? No, I've just made a will. It's the easiest thing I've ever done. Did you know that if you die without making a will, it could take a long time for your family to inherit your assets? Really? But didn't you have to get solicitors involved? Nope. I just used a CD-ROM called Click Your Will, popped it into my PC, and in a matter of minutes I was dragging and dropping my assets onto whoever I wanted to give them to. Well, that all sounds very simple. It is. Of course, the great thing about Click Your Will is that I can change my mind as often as I like at no extra cost, which only leaves me one problem. What's that? What to leave you? Maybe my 70s disco ties or bell bottoms. Click Your Will. The will you write yourself. No solicitors, no paperwork, no hassle. It's dead simple. Click Your Will is fully Windows compatible and costs just $29.95 plus post and packing. Call 0870 07 81 451 for your copy now. Allow 10 days for delivery. 0870 07 81 451.
Imagine the perfect Murillo cherry tree. Its branches heavy with ripe crimson fruit. Each precious cherry swollen with rich red nectar. Imagine a basket of freshly picked, sun-ripened cranberries, each one bursting with crisp, refreshing juice. Now, imagine both these delicious juices blended together for the first time ever in a new super premium fruit drink. Imagine their luscious, fruity juices mingling in your mouth, layer upon layer of sophisticated flavors. The rich aftertaste of cranberry and morello cherry lingers deliciously in your mouth. Sunraysia's new cranberry and morello cherry juice drink is the new adult taste sensation from Australia. Look out for the glass bottles in the fruit juice aisle at Booth supermarkets. Sunraysia, first class in fruit juice.
Monday Night Racing on Talksport. Tonight from 7, Derek Thompson and Alex Hammond bring you all the form from under the floodlights at Windsor.
And Charlie McCann brings you all the action from Carlisle.
In Talksport's essential night racing show. Tonight from 7 on Talksport.
Please keep listening. Tommy's just bought a set of matching micro scooters for the new Seekers, and he needs the money. Desperately, now.
When people come in here and find you, you tell them Tommy Boy did it.
We used to have fish, goldfish, right? And I was in the pet shop, I don't know why, and they said, live goldfish food. So I bought a plastic bag of what looked like cloudy water with in it lots of microscopic things. And I took them home and got home. And on examination, they were little animals.
They weren't sea monkeys, were they?
They were like little shrimps.
Yeah, sea monkeys.
Living animals, right? And what you do is you then drop them in the water and watch them run like crazy from these giant shrimp-eating goldfish. It was hideous. I never did it again.
Did they dance to music when you played music?
They did not. They ran like crazy. They went in the water and they went, ah! It was like people who have snakes, they feed them sometimes, so you're told, live mice and things. And
yeah, they do.
Rabbit cutlets. And I just couldn't stand any of that. I wouldn't be interested in any of that.
Do you remember sea monkeys?
Yes, I do.
The little thing, and the advert would say, they would show pictures of these monkeys and go, they'll dance to music.
Yeah.
And, how much were they breaking the trade descriptions at?
How much?
You got the things, and they were like just little...
The living creatures, though. I mean, how much are they breaking all sorts of animal rights?
They didn't dance to music.
Yes. When chefs do fish recipes, they often say, buy a fresh lobster, a live one. Only live will do. And bring it home. And then part of the recipe is killing the lobster. And there's various ways. Sometimes you take a meat cleaver down the back and slice it in two, lengthways. Yes. Other times you get a skewer and do something unspeakable with the skewer. And other times you just stick it in a pot of boiling water. But it's interesting, if the same thing applied to sheep, supposing the recipe called for a rack of lamb, and so you could go to the butcher's and come home with a sheep kicking and struggling.
Can you imagine Delia Smith?
Delia Smith saying, then...
grab the sheep by its ears.
Yes, exactly. Bludgeon its brains out with a mallet.
Don't forget to stop. And cut its head off.
Cut its head off.
And lightly boil for 4 hours until the skin is loosened.
Then people would go mad. There would be criminal action. People would end up in prison for 7 years for doing that to a sheep. Live, on telly, in their kitchen.
I saw a lobster incident once, a television lobster incident.
Go on.
I went to TFI Friday, and some reason they had a lobster on, a live lobster, and afterwards, the filming had finished, but I saw them releasing the lobster into the Thames.
You joking?
I did.
What, for a hoot?
Well, I don't know, I think so, yeah. Should we just...
No, it's better than cutting it in half.
Should we reflect on that a minute? Let's think about a lobster in the Thames.
Lobster. We're back to lobsters. Isn't that funny, you see, from Derek and Clive? There. Isn't that odd? Isn't that interesting?
Why?
Well, because the last but 3 callers was going on about Derek and Clive collecting lobsters from Jane Mansfield.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's funny, isn't
That
it?
is strange, yeah.
08 704 20 20 20. Let's go to line 6. Hello, line 6.
Good evening. Here is the news on Friday the 27th of Geldorf. Archaeologists near Mount Sinai have discovered what is believed to be a missing page from the Bible. The page is presently being carbon dated in bronze. If genuine, it belongs at the beginning of the Bible and is believed to read, "To my darling Candy, all characters portrayed within this book are is purely coincidental."
Very good. Line 1, you're on. Hello.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, who's this?
All right. You know about, it was about 10 o'clock, you said you were going to tell that joke.
Yes.
Well, they go, "Ugh."
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell it?
I don't know.
What?
I'm just thinking it through. Hold on. No, because I don't think I can. I'll just check it with Ash.
Go on.
So switch me off, Ash, for a second.
Go on. Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
You gonna? Tommy.
Oh, I don't know. It's a bit of a... I'll put your mic back on there.
Okay, I'm back on now. I've just checked it with Ash, and we're not sure whether I can because it's the actual act that's involved. I don't know.
Go on, Tommy.
Okay.
Do it for the public.
All right, then I will. I'll take a risk, okay? Fine.
Go on,
So a travelling salesman, his car breaks down in the middle of the night and he knocks on a farmhouse door. And the farmer answers the door and he says, "Is there any chance that he could sleep the night?" And the farmer says, "Yes." He says, "But there's only one bed you'll have to share with my daughter, but don't you dare lay a finger on her, otherwise I'll blow your brains out." So he said, "Fine." And the daughter comes down, and she is a beautiful woman of 21, buxom and blonde, and obviously wise to the ways of the world. However, the travelling salesman is, of course, in awe of the warning he's received from the farmer. So he puts on his pyjamas and gets into bed, and so does the farmer's daughter get into bed next to him. And they're lying there in the absolute silence when the farmer's daughter says to him, I do feel nervous saying this, you see, slightly on the radio, just in case there's anybody 12 who's listening. He says, "Would you like a job?" Did you hear that?
Yeah, go on.
Fine, okay. And he says, "Oh, no. He said, "How about a tongue job?" He said, "Oh, no. She says, "Oh, come on. How about hand and a tongue job?" The man goes, "Oh, all right then." So she leans over and goes,
Oh.
It was all right in the end.
It was all right in the end. It wasn't bad, was it? And I think at 1:30 in the morning, and since it's the X hour, and
Tommy.
I was expecting it better, though, Tom.
What?
I was expecting it to be a bit better.
You were expecting it to be a bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
You were expecting it to be a bit more dodgy.
Yeah, I was actually.
Yeah, well, there is a dodgier version. I cleaned it up.
Yeah. All right then.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the dodgy version, could you?
No, I've done it. Leave it. I know that there should be nothing wrong with it, but I'm cautious. I'm a sensible broadcaster, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then, Tom.
Cheers, mate.
Laters, bro.
Yeah. What was that last bit?
Laters, bro.
What does that mean?
It means I will see you later, brother.
Oh, laters, bro. I'm sorry. I'm out of a loop here so much, which is great.
We're not in the swinging 70s anymore.
Ballesteros. The bullfighter. That's what I call him. Technically, he's a professional golfer. A friend of mine said recently, what do you get if you cross a ballerina and a bastard? Ballesteros was his answer. I guess, if you analyse it, that Seve combines the qualities of both those animals. He has the live sophistication and nimbleness of a ballerina, combined with the hard-nosed, ruthless thuggery of a bastard.
Job. Line 3, you're on. Hi.
It was a time of crisis. It was a time of redemption. Coming to a cinema near you this summer, a tale of two sides in a struggle for supremacy. Starring Mel Gibson, Isle Laurie, Kenny Ramsey, and a herd of Afghanistan rogues. With guest appearances from Timmy Mallet and Open winner David Duvall. From the director of I Spit on Your Grave, Billy Craw. I know what Tommy did last summer with a pair of Velcro gloves. Grades 18.
Yeah, pretty good. Nice one, fella. Thank you. Here's line 4.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Oh, it's Colin.
Hello, Colin.
Yeah, I'm talking to my girlfriend.
Nice one, guys. Nice one. Thank you for that. And to line 5.
Oh, it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and Tommy go away. But it's thank you, Mr. Boyd, when Talksport begins to play. It's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and chuck him out, the brute. But it's saviour of talk radio when his mouth begins to shoot. Good night, Tommy. Good night, Ash.
And line 6. Hi, line 6.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey.
Hi.
Fella.
It's Bob from Stalybridge.
Oh.
I've not spoken to you for about 6 months
We
because
missed
I've been
you.
working wrong shifts, I'm afraid.
Sorry about that.
But whilst I've been away, I've not been wasting my time. And I've been looking into things, you know, like adages and sayings, like things like still runs the water where the brook is deep, things like that. Stitch in time. I've been looking into the honesty of all that. And I did happen to hear, whilst I was looking into this, a quick moment of your programme, a few months back, where you were talking about samurai warriors and something about a book you'd read. I think it was The Way of the Warrior or something like that. Yeah. So I thought, right. So they think they're hard and all this. So I went down to our local samurai centre in Stalybridge and I found one in there. I went in there and I thought, right. He had that sword, everything. I thought, right, think you're hard, do you? Now, I'm an office worker, so I don't have much to really hit him with. I'm not a big lad. So I thought, right. So I took my fountain pen out and I jabbed it right in his thigh. Right? Now, I'm speaking to you from the Tameside Accident and Emergency Department, and I can now tell you that there is no truth whatsoever in that phrase, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Quite right. Well,
yeah. Now, not
but
only
you
that...
tested it.
Sorry?
I
But I did at least test it out. The
You've
theory, I
tested it.
tested it out.
So you're on solid ground here.
Correct. Not only that, my ex-wife and me can now also verify to you that there is also no truth in that saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
True enough.
So where does he get these sayings from?
Good Lord, God only knows. But thank you for doing your work.
Well, I didn't want you to think that I hadn't been paying attention and what have you, or thinking about you, even whilst I've been working away.
Drifted off to another radio station. Bob in Stalybridge is back.
I don't know, with all the margaritas we buy, we can afford a job, honey. And I'll go you one further. And this is the one, folks, this is the idea that has made me virtually an anonymous figure in America for the last 16 years. I have watched my crowds dwindle. I am going nowhere and nowhere quick. If you have children here tonight, and I assume some of you do, I am sorry to tell you this, they are not special. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's not have any... Wait, don't misunderstand me. I know a lot of y'all... What? No, wait. Let's be clear on this. I know you think they're special. I'm aware of that. I'm just trying to tell you, they're not. Do you know that every time a guy comes, he comes 200 million sperm? Did you know that? 200 million sperm. And you mean to tell me you think your child is special? Because 1 out of 200 million sperm, that load. We're talking one load. Connected. Gee, what are the fucking odds?
Okay. Yeah, I had a lot going for it. Very good. Did you catch any of that, Ash? You were busy trying to remember the email machine again there. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't know who it was. Thank you for that, line 1. Here's line 2.
Is this psycho music?
It's like psycho, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe it's the, like, incidental music.
I don't know. It certainly involves...
Oh, yeah, that's Hitchcock.
Involves peril, doesn't it? You can tell it's got peril.
Peril, then.
Perilous. Thanks for that. Is the psycho music, isn't it, in the shower? Line 3, hi.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey.
Hello. What football team do you support?
Portsmouth.
Well, I rung about a month ago, and I said, what do you think the chances are West Brom going up? And you said they're going down.
I think they might.
Why do you think that, though?
Well, because they're not all that good.
But they got to the playoffs, didn't they, last year?
That's true. I was only trying to wind you up a little bit, you know, just for the crack of it, like football fans do. You know.
I'm sorry about the goalkeeper yesterday.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what team does Ash support?
Villa, mate. Just down the road, you know what I mean? Down the road from your end.
Yeah.
Closest ground, isn't it, I think?
It is, yeah, closest ground to West Brom.
Have a pop at Ash. Go on, tell them Villa are going down.
Villa are going down.
They are going down, actually. Ash played that because he thinks it's clever to play comedy laughing there, you see, fella. Never mind, thanks for your call.
Okay then,
Up
bye.
you go.
Bye.
What was that? He's flatlined! He's flatlined! He's gone! Ash is leaving us! Quick, everybody, get out those two things that you stick on your chest.
I'm again.
You put those things on your chest, and then you say, stand away!
Oh, you sound like Darth Vader.
I know.
Stand away. One more time. Stand away.
How do you do that?
It's a digital feedback, that
Is it?
Yeah. See, I wrote
Does that make a sound? It makes it sound as though we're speaking to you from another planet.
Yeah, man.
And they're about to start the 100 metres. Shall I commentate on Christian Malcolm and Dwayne Chambers?
And they're away a second time. Christian Malcolm quite quickly away in lane 2. But at the moment it looks very much as though Morris Green it is all the way to the line, and Morris Green just touches off Atto Bolden with possibly a medal, I don't know, possibly 4th place. But now after the race, he's limping very badly. It's not a very interesting race at all. Give me back. That was good, that. When you see the 100 metres later, tomorrow or something, Morris Green wins, but he has to run the last 10 metres on one leg. But he still wins. That's amazing.
I didn't see that.
I've never seen that before. And Dwayne Chambers, I think, just run out of a medal. Because in lane 8, it's very hard. He was in lane 8. Very hard to get a medal in lane 8.
So he sort of triple jumped the last 10 metres?
Well, watch it again if you do get a chance. His calf muscle goes, snaps, with about 5 to 8 metres to the line. And they all close in on him as he hobbles. It's fantastic to see. Maybe he did it on purpose for the
sponsorship,
for the anecdote. But here comes the race again. Sorry about this. If you can't get to a television, this might be slight. But all I'm doing is saying it's something to look out for if you do get to see a recording of the race on the news at some point.
He is the widest man there, isn't he?
Tomorrow. He's wide.
Stockiest man.
He's right in the middle. Now you can see here he is with about 10 metres to go. You'll suddenly see him start to go, oh, my leg. Oh, there, see? Oh, bloody hell. Ow. Oh, And Bolden almost gets to him, but not quite. And Chambers, I think, actually 6th.
Yeah, the reason it's in a V shape when they're running is because the fastest guy goes in the middle, don't they? And then the goes out like
that. The fastest guys from the heats go in the middle.
And that's
in
why
4
it's
and
sort
5.
of a V shape when they finish.
That's right. And they do the same with swimming, I believe. Where it makes more sense in swimming because they do get the wash of the guys ahead of them. Yeah. Now they're showing a close-up of it, so you will get a chance to see. His leg definitely gives up. And, that's wanting it. Oh, there he goes. You see, about 3 or 4 strides before the end, when he just puts in an extra spurt, he goes, and you can see him go, ow!
So he's got the wrong spikes on there, that's his problem.
That could be.
Too long.
I'm sure the tourniquet down round his leg doesn't help. Anyway, on with the show. This is line one.
Rapper Hugh is in trouble over his new song, Uzi Lover. During the stage version of the song in the live show, he kills 5 people on the stage. During the stage show, live as it's performed. Tough bitch, motherfucker.
Oh, steady.
It's very rude.
To line 2. Hello, line 2. You're on the Human Zoo. That's okay. And line 3. Hi.
Right, then, Craig. Both of us together.
Yeah.
I think this couldn't even lift it. We was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Right, said Fred, give a cup of Charlie, up comes Charlie from the floor below. After explaining, eating and complaining, we was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. Charlie had a think, and he said, we ought to take off all the ceiling angles, all the candles.
Well, I never thought we would, so right, said Fred.
Have to take the feed off the bed and see or wouldn't take a bow. Just this feed off, even if the feed off should have got us somewhere, but no. Now Fred said, let's have another cup of tea, and we said, right-o. All right, said Fred, have to take the door off, need more space, if the so-so. At that windy, I can hope the English, and it brought us nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea, and right said Fred, have to take the door down, that there wall is gonna have to go.
Do you know this tune?
Yeah, it rings a bell, I don't know it, to sing along to. Had a cup of tea.
They used to do comedy songs like this in the sort of 50s, 60s.
Who did?
People.
Yeah, I know, yeah. No. Is it Tommy Steele, is it?
I don't know. Said Fred, with his crowbar, gave a mighty blow. Was he in trouble? Half a ton of rubble on the top of his dome.
It's like that sticky
And Charlie and me had another cup of tea, and then we went home.
Oh, my. Oh, blimey.
That's the trouble with. He's too hasty. No. You never get nowhere if you're too hasty.
Oh.
Thank you for that, fella.
We've got some data from Robin.
Robin's got some data.
It's Bernard Cribbins.
Is it Bernard Cribbins?
I met him last week.
Did you really?
At the CLA Country Game Fair that Keith Olsen and I went to.
Really?
Fish. He's a grand fisherman, he is.
He's a grand... I think he's a grandfather. He's a grand fish...
Well be, I think.
He's a grand fish...
Fisherman. Fisherman. You're going to do it, Tommy.
Father of 2 generations of halibut.
Indeed.
Yeah. No, the other one that Bernard Cribbins had out around about the same time was A Hole in the Road.
That's right. Here I was digging that hole.
There was I, digging a hole in the ground, so big and sort of round it was, and there was him, standing up there, all big and official, with his nose in the air, and so on, so on, so on. Yeah.
Bernard Cribbins.
Bernard Cribbins. Do you remember him in the Railway Children?
What was he in the Railway Children?
He was, I think he was one of the railway staff in the Railway Children, and Jenny Agatha. Jenny Agatha.
Why aren't there any girls called Tissy anymore?
There are in other countries.
Oh.
08704 20 20 20. Line 3 on the Human Zoo. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Is Nick, you remember me?
No, not yet.
Oh no. Oh no, I made a brilliant call last week, but you don't remember me.
Yeah. Very good, very good. 'Cause people are like that. Hello, Tommy, remember me? I phoned about 4 years ago. I was talking about my legs.
Yeah, I've such a sad life. And you are the only one.
It's all right. Now, I'll remember you next time if you tell me you're the bloke who wept.
Will you? Now, will you send your obscene emails and racist emails and make stupid calls just to have an impact?
They often say Jesus wept, and that's supposed to be a very bad swear word, isn't it? Don't tell.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Why, exactly, I know.
I've got a bit of audio I'd like to play.
I'd like to hear that.
It's from the Human Zoo about 8-9 months ago. Do you remember when we used to have jugglers?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just one of the highlights to take us back to the glory days.
1, 2, 3. Lekker. Zo lekker. 1, 2, 3. That's it.
That was a great moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah. We should get the jugglers back.
Yeah, I haven't seen. They don't.
Oh yeah, no, they're there.
They're still down there, are they?
They're there. Yeah, we found these jugglers. They were juggling. There's a massive crossroads about half a mile from Talksport. About 8 roads converge. It's more than a crossroads. About 8 roads, big dual carriageways, all converge. Very complex set of traffic lights. At it. Is it Vauxhall Bridge?
No, it's Blackfriars.
Blackfriars
Bridge, yeah.
And there's these 2 Peruvian guys, and they make a living juggling.
It was 3. Remember there was 3 once?
3.
There's 2 or 3. Their mate comes over sometimes.
3 jugglers from Peru, and they make a living juggling, right? And they have to juggle in front of the stationary cars, and then get the hell out of the way.
They run out. They run out in the red light.
They run
right
out
in front of your car.
Red light. They run out.
And they're good, aren't they? Big clubs they're throwing.
And then they just get like 30 seconds to do a quick collection, and somebody will give them 10 pence or something, and then get out of the road. Otherwise, they're dog meat.
Yeah.
And so we thought, they're perfect for the show.
It was the best job they ever had, wasn't it?
Then they were going off to Amsterdam. That's what they said. It was the best job they ever had juggling on the radio. It was great trying to explain to some Peruvians that we wanted them to juggle on the radio.
Yeah, it was good. They were nice guys, weren't
they? They were nice guys.
Very nice. Chilled out.
They didn't understand it at all, but when we said we were going to pay them, they went, okay.
Yeah, and they wanted more money in the end, didn't they?
They had bartered for more money. They were
2 minutes work, they were getting like 50 quid, weren't they?
We had them for 3 weeks, and then they went off to Amsterdam.
They hit the big time, didn't they, after this show, you see?
I wonder why Amsterdam and why not
Norwich.
Cheshunt. Line 5. You're on the Human Zoo. Hi.
G'day, Sport. It's Alf Stewart here. Phoning live from the set of Home and Away. How's it going, Tommy? Fair income to you. Great show tonight.
It's been a good zoo. You're absolutely right, Cobber.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever listened to it, but, you watch Home and Away at all?
Not if I can help it, no.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Neighbours these days, mate. Strike me pink. We've got some great storylines now. So, make it worth your while. Tune in next week, mate.
Okay,
great
Cobber.
stuff.
Thank you. No, we'll do. 08704 20 20 20. Remember, Charlie Wolf will be here, and it looks as though he's lining up another great line 6. Another great show for you from 1 o'clock.
Good morning, Tommy.
Just when you thought that you'd never hear somebody playing the kazoo again.
Uh-oh. Dropped a clanger again. I hope this audio is at the right level. I'm just going to shut up now and let it do it.
Okay.
What exactly are we demands? We're giving Pilot 2 days to dismantle the entire apparatus of the Roman imperialist fleet, and if he doesn't agree immediately, we execute him. Hey, let us. What the fuck? They take everything we have. And not just for us, from our fathers, and from our fathers' fathers, and from our fathers' fathers' fathers. Yeah, and from our fathers' 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 fathers. Oh, don't label the point. And what are they ever given us in return? The aqueduct? What? The aqueduct? Oh, yeah, they give us that. That's true. And the sanitation. Oh, yeah, the sanitation, mate. Remember what the city used to be like? Yeah, all right, I'll grant you, the aqueduct and sanitation are 2 things the road is under. And the roads? Well, yeah, obviously not roads. I mean, the roads go without saying, don't they? But apart from the sanitation, the aqueduct and the road, irrigation, medicine, education. Yeah, all right, fair enough. In the morning. Yeah, that's something we've really mistaken the Romans left. Public baths. And it's safe to walk in the streets at night now, Lech. Yeah, they certainly like to keep order. Let's say to the only ones who could in a place like this. All right, but apart from the sanitation, the medicine, education, wine, public order, irrigation, roads, a fresh water system and public health, what have the Romans ever done for us? Brought peace? Oh, peace!
Okay.
Nice one.
Thank you, and good night. Bye-bye.
Are you the owner or director of a business? Are you in a commercial dispute with an individual or supplier? Maybe your dispute is with another company, a bank, or other professional organization. Well, if your dispute is worth £20,000 or more, and you think you're in the right, but are worried about the cost of legal action, then don't be. Speak to IIB Law now on 0870 444 2288. For one fixed low-cost fee, our specialist advisors will review your case and assess if it's likely to succeed. What's more, if we take on your case and don't win, you don't pay any lawyer's fees. We've helped businesses successfully resolve disputes quickly and effectively. So if you have a commercial dispute in excess of £20,000, call IIB Law now on 0870 444 2288. That's 0870 444 2288. Lines open 24 hours. Calls may be recorded. Insurance may be required.
If you're driving a long way today, have any of the following cropped up in conversation? Are we nearly there yet? Why do I always have to go in the back? You're a waste of skin. Let me drive. If the answer to any of these is yes, we strongly advise you to pull off the motorway at the earliest opportunity, have a bite to eat, and a refreshing beverage. Moto. Essential maintenance for motorists.
This Sunday afternoon from 1, the champions of the Premier League.
Oh, what a goal by Manchester United!
And the winners of the FA Cup.
Here's Liverpool, into the penalty area, it's in!
Face each other in an explosive Charity Shield clash.
Oh, what a goal!
Manchester United versus Liverpool.
Unbelievable stuff!
Full, uninterrupted commentary from Alan Parry and Alvin Martin, direct from the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. This Sunday afternoon from 1 on Talksport. Tommy Boyd, Human Zoo.
What if the world is just a big disappointment?
Ask not what your radio station can do for you. Ask what you can do for your radio station.
Very much how this show is. What can you do for your radio station? So I'm taking a week's break. I believe Chris Ashley is going to be looking after the zoo.
Yeah, it's not bad for a boy.
It's fantastic. And so I'll see you in a fortnight's time, Ash. I won't send you a postcard. I don't do that.
Yeah, I'll send you one.
But I'll be thinking of, yeah, send me a postcard on holiday. That would be
That's how it should be done.
Sufficiently different, yeah. Let's take line 6. Who's this?
Wednesday, my manager.
Oh, here we go. She's arriving, and yes, she has the dog. Just great.
What's the problem with that?
Why does my poor little long-haired mutant mutt...
Cat sees not. I don't listen.
She knows he's there. Gonna chase that little sucker.
That's okay.
Under my chair. Got a tail in her mouth. She's sucking him up like spaghetti poop. The mouse knows he's dying. He's saying bye-bye. He looks skyward and then looks that cat has hit the mouth.
No idea here. No idea at all. But thank you very much indeed, fella, for that. I think that just about brings the greatest human zoo to date to its to a conclusion. So if you're dialing, keep your powder dry. Remember, it's Chris Ashley, probably, we think, with the Human Zoo next week. And Ash, you're here?
Yeah, I'll be here, man, with Aloysius. Excellent,
and I will. I look forward to you in a fortnight.
It was a zoo that will live in infamy.
We had some very interesting stuff, and some good nonsense, and also some really intelligent people wanting to discuss the watershed thing and why there actually isn't one in radio. So we just never know.
In other words, we can say doo-doo at any time of the day.
Well, what I was saying. Go on.
Actually, if I say doo-doo in the middle of the night, even if it's past the watershed, I still get in trouble for it.
Well, what I was saying to people calling is that two people wanted to know what they can do on the Human Zoo and what they can't do on the Human Zoo. They regard themselves as sort of semi-broadcasters, or at least part of the show, which is great. That's the idea. And what I had to explain to them is that there isn't a rule book on it. You don't know until you've done something that's considered unacceptable, that you've done something that's considered unacceptable.
Yeah, no, it's a wacky system. If somebody complains, then it's unacceptable.
If somebody complains, well, often no. I mean, in
the sense that the authorities, the radio authority. I mean, you could swear all you want right now, and if there's no complaints, the radio authority won't do anything. They can't just,
probably true.
So if somebody complains, then they have to investigate it, which I always thought was kind of weird. So if one person disagrees with you or me or something we say, they, in a sense, can set the agenda by getting the whole of the radio authority.
You really shouldn't have told people, though.
No, I like the
Did you not?
No, because
halfway through explaining that, did you not think to yourself,
No, because more often than not, you know, there's a bulletin that goes out.
Yeah.
What is it, quarterly, isn't it?
I don't know.
The complaints bulletin from the radio authority and the Broadcasting Standards Council. And all of the people in the industry read this thing when it comes out. So all of your mates, my mates that are in radio, read this thing. To me, that's the best PR going.
Yeah.
You get one of those things, and mates will start reading and going, "Oh, I saw you in the bulletin."
Well, I think I was telling about the complaint that was upheld last time round that most amused me about the radio station that had a complaint against it upheld. They said it on the basis that they said it was Monday when in fact it was Saturday.
Which is one of the oldest tricks, an old April Fool's joke.
Somebody complained, and it had to be upheld because, and this was interesting, because it was Saturday. That was on that basis the authorities upheld the complaint because it was accurate. Because it was
right.
The listener said,
I wouldn't want that. You
the
know,
listener said,
No, I'll tell you, it's a job I wouldn't want. I've seen things come around in the complaints bulletin, because, you know, we all do read this. Mr. Joe Boggs complained that he had won a Bee Gees CD on local small FM and never got his Bee Gees CD. And this is, you know, we're paying, as taxpayers or whoever is paying for this august body, the radio authority, and all of this, and they have to investigate all of these different claims. So even something like, I didn't get my Bee Gees CD, goes to the radio authority. They put up a full investigation, statement from the complainant, statement from the broadcaster, you know, statement from the authority. Well, the person got his Bee Gees CD in the end, statement not upheld.
The thing is, I think when you're doing a show, and when you're listening to a show, and when you're taking part in a show on the phone, you know, you mustn't be thinking, where can I go wrong? You've got to be thinking, where can I go right?
How can I get out of it?
How can I get the hell out?
How do I cover my ass?
How can I go off on holiday? Bye, Charlie.
Have a good holiday.
I'm out of here. I will do. I'll be listening. Have a good show. Cheers, Ash.
Yeah, have a good holiday.